So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no better one, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no better one. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show tonight. It is Talk That Talk. It is good to have everybody in the house. As you're coming in, you already know what to do. The channel in a mighty way tonight. Go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to have a really good conversation tonight. We're going to have an adult conversation tonight. We're going to have the conversation because the conversation needs to be had. As you see here at Black Man Unfiltered Network, we have the conversations that nobody else is willing to have, but I can't say that anymore because I have family that are having the same conversations. Shout out to JT and What We Know Podcast. Shout out to my boy Sir Health Speaks Network, who's having the same conversations as well. Shout out to 5100 who is having that. So thank you guys for continuing to have these conversations as well. So I appreciate you guys a lot. So it is good to be here tonight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're about to get this show started. Ladies and gentlemen, share this with 5 people. Everybody in the back, too. Share this with 5 people right now. Go ahead and send the YouTube link out and let them know that we are live and we're about to get it in. All right? We're about to start in just a second.
It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need.
right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This is another beautiful Tuesday, as you can see, and I'm so glad that you guys have made it. Again, I want to go to the sanctuary first. We see Christina Watts in the building tonight. We also see Beautifully Animated in the building tonight. As you come in, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as you come in. Guys, I hope you had a wonderful day today. If you didn't have a good day today, I'm hoping and praying that you have a better day on tomorrow. Listen, I know this show that we're having tonight, it ain't gonna get a lot of views. It ain't gonna get a lot of live views. It ain't gonna get a lot of views, period. Because we're talking about the debunking of the stereotypes of Black men. All right. There's a lot of stereotypes that we say about Black men, and we definitely need to have the conversation and debunk them all because they're debunkable. That's exactly what it is. So many, and I do want to. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna save it for later because I got something very shocking to share with you guys on how bad the world does not want you to see positive Black men that are doing the work. All right, we're not seeing it, and so for that reason, guys, we're having this show. I was so in awe, but I want to bring up my people in the back as everybody else is preparing themselves to come. I want to make sure everybody, I'm gonna bring everybody up that's here now. All right. First up, I want to bring up, let's see, Beautifully Animated tonight. All right, Mr. Bennett's in the building tonight. All right, we got JT in this thing tonight. And my lovely co-host, y'all already know. Oh, she's so cute. Look good. Look good. Boo boo. All right, there she goes. Coach K is in the building tonight.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
hello. It's good to see you guys, man. It's so good to see you.
Guys.
So I want to make sure everybody's doing good. We'll start with Beautiful Animated. How's everything doing? How's your baby doing? How's life? And then we'll move on to JT.
Oh, my baby's here visiting from college, so everything's good. Watched a few shows yesterday, some hunting shows.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Hunting shows.
And then we got the JT in the building tonight. Brother JT, how's everything going over there with the wifey, with the kids, with the life, job, everything, bro? How's everything going, man?
It's all going wonderful, brother.
Absolutely.
Everything is everything. It's
everything.
Tuesday.
Come on, man. Come on, man. All right. And then we got Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, come on, walking around the house naked. No more kids in the house. I mean, you know, Mr. Bennett didn't come out of he didn't come out of retirement, y'all. Mr. Bennett.
It's almost to the point now where having clothes on is like a rare thing. It's like I can't believe you have clothes on. So that's how wild it is over here now.
Man, if y'all didn't know, Mr. Bennett used to be a stripper. All right, they used to call him Hash Brown. I love you.
Are you gonna bring him up?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen around the world, for your viewing pleasure,
Hash Brown.
Yeah, he's in the building tonight.
Yeah.
They call him Hash Brown because when he drop down, he get hot and come back up, and he too hot for your mouth to take. Give it up for my boy, Mr. Bennett, aka Hash Brown. Yeah. I think I still got your soundtrack in here. Let me see if we still got
I was gonna say.
Let's see. Hold on, I think I got it right here. No, he got to go old school. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Hey.
Get your dollars out.
Get them dollars out.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh, Mr. Bennett, boy, I needed that laugh. You don't understand.
That's okay.
Okay. Mr. Ben, I done got you up here. Can't get you down. Hold on. All right. So, Mr. Bennett, man, happy to have you here. And then we got, hey, whoa. Beautiful Animated got a donation. Wait a minute.
Oh my God.
You got a donation to the Hash
tip
Brown
drill.
Thing. Oh my God. So, Beautiful Animated.
Drop it like you want it.
So, my lovely co-host of the evening, Coach K, how are you tonight, Shook?
I am good. Happy to be here as always. This is one of my favorite days of the week. Looking forward to this conversation. I don't know what to expect, but yeah. So got my little.
Hey, I should have brought mine too. Mine in the car. I left mine in the car. Damn it. Yeah, I took the camera. The people made me take my turn my phone off because I was letting everybody know, get your ass out here and vote.
Right. I would have taken. Yeah, I would have. Yeah, they were out of the stickers. I'm like, well, it's gonna be future, But yeah.
Wow.
Went out and
I got my
voted
sticker too.
Yeah, it's
There
really
you
big
go.
here. It's big over this way that we absentee ballots. So a lot of our stuff was done like
early
a month ago.
I should have did that, but
Yeah,
I will next year maybe.
And even here, they had early voting.
Did you vote?
You have people, people voting over the weekend.
Yeah, people voting on the weekends.
They made it a lot more convenient. Remember how it used to be, man? It was just like crazy to get out there and get your votes. Now, it's a lot of places you can just walk right in, cast your vote, and you can walk on about.
Well, it's almost like the movies now. Like, remember when the Blockbuster came out, you would have to wait around the corner to try to get into the show. Now you order your tickets online, you pick the seats that you want and whatnot, and you just roll up in there like 15 minutes
Absolutely.
After the start, because they're going to play about 15 minutes worth of trailers before you get there. So you just roll up in there 20 minutes after the start time and be like nothing. Yep. But you used to have to wait in line to see like the blockbusters on the opening weekend or whatever. So
absolutely.
Which
still was fun. I ain't gonna even lie.
It was. It was.
Yeah. I'm sure that did, with things being so instant now, it kind of takes the experience out of it, I think. I mean, I'm sure we we all complained.
Right.
But now.
And they even pass laws now where you with the voting laws where if you're standing in line for long periods of time and nobody can offer you water or food, it's a misdemeanor.
What?
I do remember hearing something about that.
Oh yeah, in Georgia, I know they would.
Georgia, Louisiana, Texas. Like right now, when I went voted, and if there's a lady standing there that's on a cane or a walker, I cannot go up and offer her water or anything. If they do that and they see me, they can call the police and it'll be a ticket and it's a misdemeanor.
So silly.
Yeah.
And they did that. You know why they did that? Come on now.
You had bullying. You had bribery.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, all kind of stuff. So,
they don't want you to. They figure out everything they can to get the. Then I heard today that they're going to start when they check your ID. When you get there and they scan your state ID, it's going to run your records to see if you have a warrant for your arrest or anything like. Imagine how many
you can go to jail for voting.
For voting. Can you imagine you casting your vote and say, "Sir, you have the right to remain silent"? Yeah,
that has to be breaking some type of constitutional thing. I would imagine. God.
It's gonna get real bad, man. And all the people that's got like those tickets and can't pay them, or they got a warrant, they ain't gonna go vote. They're like, oh, good.
Now in Texas, it's photo ID. You need photo ID to vote in Texas. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What about you in Jersey?
Yeah, they just had a proposal as well. That was one of the proposals.
You could have non-photo ID.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I know especially my dad, especially my folks when they got older. My dad especially, he would never go to the DMV to get a photo ID. But they do offer the non-photo. As long as you can do that, you can bring Social Security number, birth certificate, proof of address. You can still get around it. But the impact is on older people who are just not used to going to the DMV, or you haven't driven, or had a need for a car, and so for a lot of them, they never found a reason for an ID. But so it gets it's all kinds of.
I could see that being a barrier for sure.
Yeah, because I see Ronnie Hunter said don't need an ID here in North Carolina.
Oh, see, we do. My fiance, he couldn't even. Well, we brought. My dumbass should have looked in the bill because I'm good about bringing something if the address is different.
Mm-hmm.
I brought something that was like an advertisement, my stupid ass, but it didn't match, so he had to like fill out this stuff, and it took a little bit extra time. But Ohio's kind of stringent, I think.
Now, I did see somebody get turned away though, because there was a lady standing right in front of me, and she gave her ID, and the lady said, "Oh, you're not registered."
Oh shoot!
And she was like, "What do you mean I'm not registered?" She said, "I'm always registered to vote." She said, "Here's my car." She said, "The system's not picking you up, ma'am. You're not registered." She gave her ID back, and they escorted her ass out of there.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
They got past all of that because we don't have a DMV. We have a Secretary of State. So when you renew your license or registration, they automatically ask you if you want to register to vote.
Yeah, they
boom,
do.
There you go.
They do that in Ohio too, I think. I didn't even know. I didn't recognize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, again, guys,
or it's optional, I think, maybe.
Guys, if you just coming in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I want to know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat. Did you go vote? All right. Did you go vote?
Young people.
All right. Young people, old people. If you serve tea on the Titanic, get your old ass up and go vote. All right. So did you vote? Put it in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you voted. If you didn't vote, put a 2 so we can get on your ass. All right.
Your polls are still open, right? Are they closed now?
No, they're closed here.
Oh, okay.
They're closed here. 8 o'clock.
Keep it 1 hour, 2 hours in. Okay.
Yeah, they're closed here for sure.
Yep, 8 o'clock.
All right. So guys, again, thank you guys for being here tonight. This is a conversation, man, debunking the stereotypes of a black man. Like I said again, I know this ain't gonna be popular. A lot of people don't want to hear this. But I want to show you guys something. And then I'm gonna tell you why I couldn't get all of it. But I'm gonna show y'all something. I had a conversation with Mandrell. He'll be here in a minute, guys. He's running a little late. But I want to show you guys this real quick. Let me see if we can pull it up. All right, here we go.
Men are beautiful. Black men are magnificent.
Black men are innovators.
Black men are brilliant,
compassionate, intelligent,
complex,
Resilient.
critical,
necessary,
warriors,
everything.
Cosmic, supernatural, cool.
I've always felt the perception of who we are is filtered through a lens of fear.
Still to this day, black men are not able to just walk down the street without someone assuming that they don't belong there.
Stereotypes that have been put on black men takes place in the newspaper headlines. It takes place on the television, and I think it's played a major role in the bias against black men. It's an atomic bomb.
It's every day for us. Every single day.
Put your hands out the window!
That's the narrative. I felt threatened. I felt afraid. If they got on handcuffs, they're still a threat because they're a black man.
Black men are not a threat.
Black men portrayed as dangerous has been inside of the fabric of American culture from the beginning.
Young black boys in America, we don't get a chance to be kids for a long time. There's no room to emote with the exceptions of anger.
Society would have you think that we don't love and really rock with our queens like that, and we do.
Most black fathers are in the home. Well over 50% is a shocker to many people.
We are all living through a very painful time, and we must be able to talk about that.
All right, guys. So, is that chopped up a little bit to y'all over there?
No, I was good.
I was good. Okay. Good. So, now y'all saw that. That's powerful, right? Beyonce's mama Tina came up with this whole thing about debunking this because she feels like black men getting the short end of the stick. And I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. That documentary, got shut down. You can't find it anywhere. Black women signed a petition to get it thrown out, and they got it thrown out.
Really?
Is that what something like that came out like a little while ago? Something about Tina Knoll? Okay.
And they signed a petition. It's gone. You can't find it. It's not on Amazon. It's not on Hulu. It's not on HBO anymore. It's not on the OWN network anymore. When you go look it up, it's gonna say this video is no longer available. It was on Disney. I mean, not Disney. Discovery Plus. It's no longer there. When you look it up, it's not even coming up in the search.
My boy was in that documentary too. The guy with the dreads, Shaka Senghor.
Yeah,
it's my homeboy from Detroit, man. He has a book out, a couple of books out now. Matter of fact, I'll let you guys know about that because he talks about that also. Man. Wow, I was looking forward to seeing that documentary. That's why
doing a petition to get it thrown out or whatever. Just don't.
What's the name of it?
Don't buy it, right?
It's called for the people out there that want to try to search for it. If y'all can find it, let me know where I can watch it. Hey, Nidra, what's going on, sis? Come on. We got let's see. Let me get to Deidre in a minute. I'm gonna say the best for last. I'm gonna say the best for last. We got Ronnie Hunter in the building tonight. We got Rob in the building tonight. All right. Let's see here. We got Coach K up here. We got T Shaw in the building tonight. She said she voted. Thank you for voting. Thank you for voting. Ronnie Hunter's in the building tonight. Then we got Poke Man in the building tonight. Matthew 7:7. Vote in your prayers. All right. And then last but not least, my sister from another mister. Give it up for the beautiful, the enchanting Nidra Harp. Hey, Black Man Unfiltered and family, I voted. Amen to that. It's good to see you, sis. Thank you for being here tonight to support us is in here tonight. So, again, I definitely want to talk about that because as you've seen, the first thing I want to talk about tonight is the very first thing that they talked about in the trailer. Black men are a threat. Now, I did my research, guys, and as I was doing my research, I came up with this study they did. They did 7 of them, and all of them had the same outcome. So I definitely want to talk about the research they did on it. Let me go back up here to the top where they did the research. Okay, here. So the study was that our Black men are a threat. They debunked it by saying the studies found, the 7 studies conducted by researchers John Paul Wilson, Nicholas Rule, Kurt Huckberg, used a series of tests to get people to link people of different races to different body sizes and the potential meaning of those body sizes. In 6 of the studies, hundreds of participants were tasked to connect a man's face to a body type, right? Now, let me get down here to where they debunked it. It says here throughout the test, researchers produced the same results. And they found that larger men, larger white men, larger Hispanic men were bigger in size and the same age as some of the other men, and Black men were smaller. So they have more men that have basically, if a police officer is arresting a guy and he says that they say that we're big and intimidating, it's been debunked because some of the men that they've arrested actually took to jail for the same crimes that Black men commit, that we don't make it. We get shot up and they make it to the prison. They make it to the jail. So they basically debunked the entire thing by doing a study on body types, who's bigger, who's more intimidating. And so I'm trying to find the other part here where it says new series of studies. I'm trying to find it here. Hold on a second. I lost it. I had it marked, but somehow it got messed up here. In 6 studies, case of altercation, the 7 study participants were asked to estimate a headless male body, Throughout these tests, researchers produced the results. Let's see. Let me go down here. So I'm gonna find it here. Anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on this being debunked as men? Black men are just the scariest men, right? We're a threat, right? Because I will say this: the FBI said the most dangerous man in America, and no offense to any color here, we're just talking facts. The FBI said the most dangerous man in America is the white man.
I was gonna say that too.
So, what are your thoughts on this beautifully animated? Real quick, and then I'll go to JT, and we'll go around the room.
White men are the ones who go out hunting, right? They go out hunting any and everything. They go out hunting the elephants for their ivory and lions and just stuff you can't eat for monetary benefits and stuff like that. That's what I think of, and that it makes me think of Dumbo, and of mice and men and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like an elephant can do the most damage, but people are afraid of the mice over an elephant, right? And of mice and men, the most dangerous dude was, the big dude who had mental issues.
Now I did. Now I found it here, guys. So I did find it. Here it is. I found it and I highlighted. Good God, it was a whole bunch of reading. It says Throughout all these tests, researchers produced the same results. When participants believed the man in the images is black, they generally saw the man as larger, more threatening, and potentially more harmful in an altercation than a white person. And they were more likely to say use of force was justified against the black man than the white men. Again, the men in these pictures were roughly the same size. One of the studies in the series even made sure the men even had similar bench press records. Yet identical and similar bodies were often equated as larger and more threatening strictly because the man was perceived as black instead of white. The researchers argued that this was the result of stereotypes about black men being larger than white men. And they pointed out these stereotypes are not true. This is the Center for this is the CDC, the Center for Disease Control reported this is not true, that black men are a threat because of their size, and they're huge because other men are the same size as we are, and they did 7 studies and proved it.
That sounds like they've trained their minds to play these mind games on themselves. Their eyes are not registering what is factually being seen. Their eyes, their mind is registering what they're seeing and magnifying it.
But black man, I need you to because I'm kind of confused. So I need you to state that again, because I'm a little confused.
Okay. I'm gonna go up a little further. Maybe I go up a little further. So I'll do this. The 7 studies conducted by researchers John Paul, Nicholas Rule, Kurt Hunberg used as a series of tests to get people to link people of different races to different body sizes and the potential meaning of those body sizes. In 6 of the studies, hundreds of participants were tasked with connecting a man's face to his body size. The potential harm the potential harm a man could inflict, and whether use of force against that man would be justified in case of an altercation. In the 7th study, participants were asked to estimate a headless male's body size based on a color inverted picture to remove racial identifiers. But some participants were primed to believe through a stereotypical black or white name or through a picture of a person's face that the body picture was of a white man, while others were pinned to believe it was a black man. Throughout all these tests, researchers produced the same results. When participants believed the man in the images is black, they generally saw the man as larger, more threatening, and potentially more harmful in an altercation than a white person. And they were more likely to say use of force was justified against the black men than the white men. And again, the men in these pictures were roughly the same size. One of the studies in the series even made sure men even had similar bench press records, yet identical and similar bodies were often equated as larger and more threatening strictly because the man was perceived as black instead of white. The researchers argued that this was the result of stereotypes about black men being larger than white men. And they pointed out from the Center for Disease Control that these stereotypes about black men being larger and more intimidating to law enforcement is not true. This is the CDC. This is where I'm reading it from right now. So what are you, JT? What you got for me? We can tell him. Mr. Bennett, really, he cooking up there. So he got it cooking in his brain up there. But I mean, what's your thoughts, JT?
Yeah, this stereotype is crazy, because to stereotype someone because of just the color, it does take more than that. Now, I'm a guy that stereotypes. Perception is a motherfucker for me.
Yeah.
So, but it's not based off of just a person's, race. It has to do with, demographic, age. It has a lot more to do. I don't look at it as a color thing. Now, when you start talking about the stereotypical black man is dangerous, we all know that not to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, what makes it stereotypical is demographics,
Right?
Age,
Right?
Occupation.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just a race thing. So, I understand why older white people, 50 and up, will be scared of black men because they were closer to this whole thing of segregation and all the things that was done to us black folks, and they have this whole thing where they were taught just like how we were taught by our people that one of these days this motherfucker's gonna come back and get revenge on us. And you have and I know a lot of Southern white folks have that thought in their mind.
Why the fuck would they?
Why the fuck would they?
Yeah, I mean, why the fuck would black people have never because black people have never done that in the history of anything of America. We've never come back for revenge, even though we were slaves on a plantation and we outnumbered them like 8-1. Sometimes 12-1. Sometimes 12-1, and we never went for revenge. We never rebelled. That's not what I'm saying. Never fought the master and took over. I mean,
but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that again, we're talking about stereotypes.
I got it, but here's the thing.
We're talking about.
I don't give them that. You can't give them that kind of grace, JT. I'm not letting you get away with that. Listen, they've had. It is. Listen, here's why it's so soft. They've had how many years around us? And we ain't done shit like that. I mean, too much time has passed. They've had way too much time to observe.
But that's not people, that's ideals. See, we keep thinking like you could sit back and talk about. That's why when we start talking about something that's too far gone, like slavery, and then we trying to bring it up like those people still live here, it's different. No, the ideal is still here. The people are dead. The ideology still lives on.
Actually,
so
some
when
of
we're
them are
talking
not
about
dead.
this, we have to put it in perspective.
There you go. Tell them I am the single one.
Hey, so before she starts, I'm the single one is here tonight. She's coming in with us tonight, so thank you for being here. Mandrell just came in. So good to see you, sweetheart. So Mandrell, to catch you, and I don't know if you guys have been listening.
No, we have not.
Okay, so the CDC, I was reading something.
Listening.
I was in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
So the CDC, Mandrell, is what we're talking about. So I want to catch you up real quick. The CDC said that stereotypes that black men are a threat to law enforcement or anybody like that. They debunked it by saying it was a result of stereotypes by black men being larger than white men, and they pointed out that these stereotypes are not true. And this comes from the Center for the Disease Control in 2020. That they said that black men are not more. They're the same size as other men. And police officers.
Wait. No, we're not actually the same size of other men. But if you're talking about stature,
no. When they did the research, they put men together that were the same size. They had the same they crazy. They had men. They had men that had the same bench. They could bench press the same thing. So they had a white man that could bench press 300. They had a black man that could do it, and they put them side by side, and they still were looked at differently. All right, the black man was looked at as a threat, and he was the same size as his counterpart.
Because he is a threat,
right? And so
he is a threat. He's black.
Yes, yeah. And the CDC says it's just a stereotype, and it's not true that black men are.
No, hold up. We have a white woman right here and right now. Now, Coach K knows full well that she's more afraid of black guys than she is white guys. Even though she knows white men are more dangerous. Hold on. How about you not cut me off and let me finish making my point?
I was ready for this conversation.
Right. See, listen. Even though she knows that white men are more dangerous because white boys are crazy. They're crazy. They're all the serial killers except one.
That's a negative.
Have been white boys. They're all crazy. You shoot up schools and shit, and it's just like, bro, you fuck with kids. I don't understand this. Like, why would you be afraid of black people?
We shoot up schools.
No, we don't. Not like that. Shut up, JT. You're supposed to be on my side. Okay,
we debunking all this shit.
No, shut up, Kanye.
Hey, he right, Mandrell. We debunking everything about black. These,
but we don't do mass shootings like that, man. You know that.
Yeah, we don't. All these.
We definitely do.
Stereotypes about.
No, we don't.
I live in Detroit. I can tell you right now, since 1970s.
Well, that's the problem. We talked about this before, JT. I've come up to you and told you this in other fights. Your problem is you live in Detroit. Why would anyone live there? You don't even have clean water. Your water is toxic and it's acid.
We got. So let me tell you something. We got clean water here. Our water cleaner than ain't been built yet. Alabama.
I know it's not. No, it's not cleaner than it is here. Mississippi is one of the
problems. We got 7 damn lakes over here.
Mr. Bennett,
and all of them got lead in it.
Mr. Bennett, you'll go.
Oh my God, bring some wisdom, please, Mr. Bennett. I was kidding, Mandrell.
We're gonna get through tonight.
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel good. I was whipping ass tonight, Mr. Bennett.
Yeah,
I know.
I was fucking him up tonight. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, Mr. Bennett, what's your thoughts on the CDC article?
Well, I think the issue that I'm seeing is less to do with stereotype than it is bias. I think they're two different things because you can stereotype to a large extent positively about something, like for example, like the stereotype that all Asians are smart or something to that effect, or there's some attribute
they all know
to a person. But here, I think what we're talking about is the biases, which is generally tends to be negative. So it's what do you associate with that quote unquote stereotype of the person. So the people in the study, they're attributing black people, in particular black men, as threatening. Like none of these things are positive, and that is really where the danger is, and where But I also think that perception, I think to a large extent, is engineered. So yeah, like all of us can have biases and stereotypes about a person that we just met or a community just from our observation, just from looking at it empirically. But when you, for hundreds of years, have implanted into the psyche of people a way to how do I look at this person? It's like everyone can look at me and say, oh, well, that's Mr. Bennett and he's a great guy, this, that, and the third or whatever. But if I put a hoodie on, then that totally changed my perception if you don't know who I am. So I think that this is the issue. And I can't, again, I'm not saying that there haven't been other ethnic groups that haven't gone through their own painting. I know with Latino groups, with Native American groups and whatnot, there have been these tropes and biases that have been put into the minds, especially of Europeans. But I think certainly with black people, and in particular the black man, I think since the days of slavery, this idea of, this black man or this black slave graping the white, the virtuous white woman. It's been part of what's been built in to keep people in threat of us. And the sad thing is like it's even amongst non-white people. I mean, persons of color. You go to any other communities. It's interesting that they all have very similar attitudes about us, and even amongst black people, like those of African descent, how for African American people, how a lot of those same tropes and a lot of those same biases even affect them. How Nigerians, for example, may look at African Americans, or how people from the Caribbean may look at African Americans, even though we all come from either a colonial system or a transatlantic slave system. We all have same experience. But even for people who come here, like a lot of the talking, you're in conversations where if you get into certain quarters, how some Native Africans speak about African American men, for example, is very much mirrors that of Europeans. So this isn't just something that's local to the U.S. It's a global perception of how black men or black people have been perceived, and how it's passed down, and how we have this, even amongst our own, we can't all get on the same page because there's this distrust that is formed. And again, a lot of the same talking points that you'll hear even from Native African people, you will hear, unfortunately, sounding very much like their white counterparts. So I think there's certainly an engineering of this that not only drives the stereotype, but the stereotype is such a negative extent that it's actually creating bias. And that bias is what's been so destructive to us for so many centuries.
Wow.
Yeah, and because to be honest, I mean, stereotypes have gotten us because, like, even African Americans, by and large, we hate each other. Like, we don't like each other. Even like we don't like when we get successful, or that. Take me for instance. I've heard my whole life. You talk white,
but
my entire life. You know,
but you do though.
But
Bro.
here's the thing. There it is. To black people, what is it? I never understood. What does it even mean? I talk white.
You need to say faux every now and then. Say faux and kilts every now and then.
What that is that that's also the fact that we're not when it comes to, because we're going to debunk this stuff tonight, guys. That's why I'm trying to stay on task here, because we got to debunk this shit, because people believe these very things that
do. That's the sad part.
I want to make sure we debunk everything that they're saying about black men tonight. So when it comes to they saying, Mandrell, you talking white, that's also a part of being raised that way, right? You're around people that speak proper English, and then when you take on that, you start speaking it, and somebody else that can't speak it will make you feel bad about speaking it. It's all up here, right?
And it's not even that. It's just you go to school, right? And they teach you how to read, right?
Right.
Okay, and they teach you how to pronunciate words and sound out letters. And when you do that, when you speak, this is how it sounds.
Right.
It doesn't sound like you don't spell street with a K. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is that? Hold on. No. You get me. Hold on.
This has nothing to do with
okay. Let's debunk it. You don't spell street with a K. Anything spelled with an ST does not make a sound.
Okay, Mandrell, but what do you have to say about? What do you have to say?
Then why do we celebrate that dumb stuff?
But we can have a whole show on that. We can have a whole show on that. But I'm saying tonight. Let's talk about men. The first topic, because we got 4 of them. The first topic is black men are a threat. Why do people? I mean, after I just read the CDC thing, this article here, why are black men seen as a? I'm saying right now, I believe it's already debunked. I don't think black men are a threat. I think that, hey, listen, I just want to be able to get rid of this guy, and I'm gonna use he's aggressive as a.
No. That's not it. Those guys understand that policemen who see black men as a threat, or they're more threatened by black men, they are victims of propaganda as well and social engineering. I've said it before, and I've said it 1,000 times, because I'm telling you these things for a reason. Black Man Unfiltered. Yeah, it's because America is the greatest accomplishment in social engineering in the history of mankind.
Great.
Yes, our perspective and perception of one another has been engineered. It's not wholly, it has never been wholly our own until we stop and realize things like, wait a minute, she's just, like Coach K, she's a woman. She just happens to be white, but she's a woman. And that's where it stops. She's a woman. Her skin color has nothing to do with it. If you animated, she's brown skinned. She's still a woman. There's no difference in them. The same thing with I have the single one. She's light skinned, but she's just a woman. Ultimately, they're just women. But their skin color has nothing to do with anything. The rest of
Brother Mandrell, Black Man's point. The point is training. It is social engineering, but we're talking about police. Why do law enforcement come out African American men like they do?
I'll answer that question.
They're trained that way.
Exactly. They're trained that way. And the people who trained them to be that way were trained that way, and so on and so on. And they got it because of propaganda. Everyone thought black men were a threat.
And add to that, they're poorly trained. And they get into the streets and they realize that these dudes that I'm messing with, who are innocent or whatever, I done started something, and this dude is going to defend himself, and they get afraid, and now they can just pull out their weapon and shoot. Thank God for technology. So now we got cameras. So now they're going to hold these guys, these poorly trained police officers to account, and understand they don't get paid anything, right? You get what you pay for. So I agree with everything, mostly everything Brother Mandrell is saying. It's been set up this way. Yeah. And we're all victims of it. We got the short end of the stick. Okay, the Asians are what? They're smart, right? But they got little thingy things, right? That's their stereotype. And you got, Latinos, they work hard, but they drink a lot or whatever, and they have a bunch of kids. I mean, it goes Italians, it goes on and on and on. everyone has the stereotype, but it seems to me, and I'm in the community, that we're the ones that are, dying at the hands of law enforcement and not these other communities, which could be happening. But I mean, we're just not seeing it.
Well, the other communities don't have the same negative propaganda placed upon them. Again, look at news today. Look at news today. You see story after story after story of violence happen, and it's always this black guy this black woman that, and it's been like that way for decades. Remember that show Cops?
That narrative is starting to change,
right? And the thing is, I remember that people used to celebrate when they found rednecks or hillbillies out there with the shirt off. You know what I'm saying? Going crazy. People used to celebrate it. Oh, that's a white chick. You know what I'm saying? People lose their minds.
What about?
Hold on, real quick. Hold on.
We gotta get I'm the single one in here. We gotta get I'm the single one in here.
Yes.
I am the single one. What are your thoughts on the CDC document? And I did, guys, before she goes, I did put it in there. It says K-Soul down there because he asked for it. But the link to that study is right there, and I did put it in the back chat for everybody here on the panel as well.
Cool.
Go ahead. I'm the single one. I'm sorry.
Thanks. Much love to everyone on the panel. And before I state my thought, I have positive Black voter news. Maryland has its first Black governor. Congratulations to Wes Moore, who is now the first Black governor of Maryland. He is an author and a former nonprofit executive.
Okay. Absolutely.
That's what they voted into to be a governor.
And he's a military guy. He's a military guy. What's his name?
Please, Mandrell.
Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm the single one. Golly.
Jesus. Pick the
So you didn't vote for him, Mandrell? Oh, you're not in Maryland.
No, I'm not.
Please don't get him started, love. Don't get him started.
I'm in Alabama, so no black people are running for office down here.
I wouldn't even told about it. But go ahead. I'm the single one.
I think this country's traumatic history has really been traumatic for everyone. It's been traumatic for us, but also others. And to the point that someone made earlier about, the people who experienced the racism or, shoveled out the racism being dead, they're not dead. A lot of them are not dead. A lot of them are in positions of power now. And so, they're and a lot of them have families and, 2 or 3 generations underneath them as well. So the influence and the impact continues. In terms of police seeing Black men as a threat, there are so many layers there. There's the training, which I think we discussed. There's also very real fear. And even if that fear is not rooted in the person that the police person is encountering, even if that fear is not based on that person being Black, it's still a fear-based position. They operate in the emotion of fear so much. And so, that will always play a part as well.
Thank you so much for that.
And some of it, honestly, my pleasure. But some of it, honestly, a lot of this has seeped into our subconscious. I work in an industry where we talk about bias so much, and we talk about bias so much because it's still so prevalent, and you really can't, teach it out of someone. You can't coach it out of someone. You can't seminar it out of someone. It will always be there. You can only teach them how to make decisions not based on that bias, which is still very difficult.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You can teach a person, but it's on them to either change or not change, and different things, whatever. But you can always give people knowledge. It's up to them what they do with the knowledge,
Want to bring up something the Black man said earlier when we were talking about English or speaking what we call proper English.
English, yeah.
Does anyone ever notice that it only applies to us?
Yep.
Okay.
Have you ever heard anyone from Boston or from Dorchester or any of those places and them it's called an accent.
Right.
But for us, our ebonics is something that has to be corrected. So we say you need to speak proper English, but if you ever heard someone from Boston, they drop R's on everything.
Not Boston. Not Boston.
Boston. Go to the harbor.
I got to get my car fixed.
Get my car parked. Got to park your car from the yard. I mean, but nobody ever talks about, oh, they don't speak. They need to learn how to speak proper English. Like, you don't associate that with their accent. It's actually it's clowned on as comedians or whatnot, but no one looks at it necessarily as a negative. It's just accepted that's a Boston or New England accent. But with us, it's always about, oh, well, we don't speak proper English, as if because you could actually start to question, well, what is proper English? I mean, there's a standard English that you may see like on news broadcasts and whatnot. They call that Midwestern type of English. But if you go to all different parts of the country, everyone, I mean, even white Southerners speak a language that's not what would be considered proper English, but no one is ever concerned about trying to correct them or try to train them not to speak that way. But for us, everything's about how to speak proper. So in a lot of ways, a lot of us, we are multilingual because we need to know how to speak the quote unquote proper standard English in the corporate and the workplaces and whatnot. But then when we get together at the barbecue, we have another dialect. But we're the only ones who get called out for that. I just find that interesting. That,
so Coach K,
even gets into us.
Get Coach K in here. Coach K, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
Which part?
The CDC part where, I mean, they're pretty much putting the same men together, same size, same weight, same everything, and they're still perceiving that we're larger and more threatening.
Yeah. I will say, just on like, well, I'll touch on this one first. So I don't. The problem is when we attach. I'm going to speak for me. I don't even know why I'm saying we. I'm just saying like we in conversation. The problem is when people attach dangerous to that size, because honestly, I would consider Black men more muscular and like in an aesthetic, sense. Because when I think, I mean, I don't really think like this, but if I have to, like white people or white men, I think maybe either twigs or like beer gut or something like that. But either way, like, I mean, and I was even looking up the obesity rates and things like that, and they're like the same. I mean, America, we're unhealthy. We all know this, but But I think the problem, because it's not really an issue if you think a certain race is like this is not a bad thing. But the problem is when it comes to being dangerous, and especially police officers in their field attaching that association. So that's like the first thing I was thinking of. And then the second thing is with bias just in general, I think it's, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the source or whatever, but I think our brains are already functioning that we bias certain things with whatever that meaning is that we, and if a young person learned this at a young age, then they have had this bias for a long time. For example, we do it with food. We do it with all types of things. So when we see that, I mean, I have biases against myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do this because I'm not a morning person. So what do? I don't wake up and I provide more bias and evidence for myself. You know what I mean? But again, kind of like Beautiful Animated was saying, and then I'm sorry, what's your name in the middle? I don't see the name. So is it the
perfectly single?
I am the single one.
I am the single one.
I am the single one. Okay, sorry.
You can call me I am.
Okay, I am. So like, now I forgot my damn point. But
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, the teaching thing.
Okay.
The teaching thing. Like, yeah, you can't teach these things out of people. And I'm pretty sure like it's been shown that implicit bias training doesn't necessarily work. However, you have to be, and this is what I teach in my coaching anyway, you have to be aware of what you're doing. Look at your current results and question, where is this coming from? Because it's in your subconscious. And if you don't, if you're not, okay, Christina, excuse me. Sorry.
Hey, Christina, hold on, Christina, how do you say stop hating in Ukrainian? You know what I mean? You over here, all the way over here in America hating. You should be over there in Ukraine hating over there. Hate on them Russians over there. Leave us alone.
Right, I'm just kidding. But okay, and I'll wrap it up. Excuse me. No, I was kidding. But anyway, so shit. I just lost it again, so it's all right.
I do agree a lot of our
it's okay. It's okay, but
yeah.
I think it's fascinating that we learned tonight that Coach K likes black men. I'm happy about that.
I knew that was coming.
I knew you were all right. I knew you were all right, Coach K.
I knew that was coming.
I knew you was okay.
Boy, man.
I knew you were all right. I always liked you.
I want to thank everybody for your perspective on black men are a threat. So do we all agree collectively that it is debunked that black men are not a threat?
Come on, like white people are the ones who came in first. Wanted to take over and colonize everything.
Right, but I'm saying, do we agree?
Everything.
Right.
Beautiful animated. No, you got to go all the way back. Shaka Zulu wasn't white, but the homie wasn't white. Humans are dangerous, y'all. Just keep it 100.
Humans are dangerous, but specifically black men as a whole are not a threat.
There's a stereotype that black men are the most dangerous men when the FBI has already said that the most dangerous man is the white man at this point, and that when they see black men, if I were to get out the car and then a white guy get out the car, they're going to be more. I'm going to be perceived more of a threat to them than a guy that's just like me over here to the side. It doesn't make any sense. And,
absolutely.
And the CDC just proved it. They just debunked it.
Like I said, people are taught to be racist and biased. They're taught to be that way. They don't even learn it. There's someone has to specifically teach them to be that way. Even if you pick up on it in environment, like you take children and you let them play together, they don't care what color the other kid is. They're just playing with children, right? Now it's like you take these kids and they grow up, and they're never taught to be racist, never taught to be biased, but they meet a racist person and they're gonna be like, "What the hell's wrong with that guy?" Right. It's gonna confuse them. They don't know. Someone has to specifically teach you to be racist and teach you to be biased.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to identify people just as they are. You, Black Man Unfiltered, you're a person. Sir Hale is a person. Coach K, she's a person. And that's all. And that's where the buck stops.
And you know what else? I saw also a study where you're absolutely right, Mandrell. They put a white baby and a black baby in a room that never met each other. Right? They were like 8 months old, and then they put a 3-year-old pair and then an 8-year-old pair, right? And they're just playing with each other and hitting on each other, laughing, hugging, right? And then they put 2 kids that were raised. I mean, one was black and the one was white, but was raised by someone that didn't particularly like our color of skin. He walked in, he didn't say anything to him. He sat on the other side of the room. I don't like you. And then they broke him down and said, "Why are you this way?" He said, "My daddy said those people are evil people and they don't deserve to be in our country." Right?
Exactly.
Right. Now, he was taught that. Exactly.
Now extrapolate that out. That's how it works, man. And real quick, brother Mandrell, looks like this Governor-elect Wes Moore, he was in division, bro. Looks like he was a captain and he been down range. So we can't talk too much shit about this.
He was in division?
Yeah, he was in division.
I don't care where it was.
All right. So
when he was an interior decorator or something.
We'll talk about that behind the scenes. Sir Hale speaks in the building tonight. Sir Hale, what are your thoughts? Have you been watching?
He was in 82nd. He was abused.
Yeah, I just got in to home, so I need to catch up.
So I'll catch up. I'll do the. We was reading that the CDC did a study, 7 of them, to determine that black men, to debunk the whole thing about black men are a threat. And what they found is they said here. I'll read the last part of it, not the whole thing here. They found that that men of the same size, but were different colors. They said the researchers argued that this was a result of stereotypes by black men being larger than white men, and they pointed out that these stereotypes are not true. The Center of Disease Control reported in a summary in 2020 that they said this is not true. That in different sizes makes the difference because the white man and the black dude are the same size, but they're more aggressive with black men. So they've debunked the fact that we are a scary group of individuals. So what are your thoughts on that?
I can't dispute the facts, but I'll take it a step further. I don't think it's just that other cultures. Well, first of all, listen, guys, let me apologize. Let me apologize. Salute to my brother Black Man Unfiltered.
Salute to Coach K. Salute to Mr. Paul Bennett. To the lovely Mrs. Speaks is in the building. What's going on with you? What's going on, Mandrell? What's going on, JT and Mr. DL? Shout out to the chat. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. So I'll take it a step further. Not only do I think that it's people of other cultures that have been marketed that we are aggressive people, even deeper, a lot of us are taught to believe that we are that way. Like there was a time where living in Chicago, I was scared of black dudes. I'm a black dude. Right. You know, if they look at me too long, you know how it is. They look at you for too long, you take that as a threat.
No.
And so I'm telling you my experience. Like from where I come from, somebody looks at you too long in the city, it's perceived as a threat. Like it's perceived, what you want, and I'm not gonna look away first because you're not gonna mess with my man. So it's not just marketed from people of other races. It's even within our own communities where we are taught to be afraid of each other and we have to protect each other. So I do think that at this point, it's up to us to change the images that are placed out there. This doesn't mean that we are weak or that we don't have power, but I do think that we have the ability to change how we are perceived. And that's going to start with how we perceive and we relate to each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Coach K, before we move on to the next segment, thank you, Sir Hale. Coach K, thank you for sending me that. I kind of knew that happened. Sir Hale, this is ridiculous. Sir Hale, y'all watch this. We'll take a little break here. Yeah, I got it. I'm reading it right now. But y'all watch this.
Men are beautiful.
Black men are magnificent.
Black men are innovators.
Black men are brilliant.
Compassionate. Intelligent.
Complex.
Resilient.
Critical.
Necessary.
Warriors.
Everything.
Cosmic, supernatural, cool.
I've always felt the perception of who we are is filtered through a lens of fear.
Still to this day, black men are not able to just walk down the street without someone assuming that they don't belong there.
Stereotypes that have been put on black men takes place in the newspaper headlines, it takes place on the television, and I think it's played a major role in the bias against black men. It's an atomic bomb.
It's every day for us. Every single day.
Put your hands out the window!
That's the narrative. I felt threatened. I felt afraid. If they got on handcuffs, they're still a threat because they're a black man.
All right. Did that chop up on y'all in?
Yeah,
a little bit, but it was good. We got the whole thing.
It worked though. And brother Black Man, I put a link in the back chat for this brother Wes Moore. Is there any way you could pull his picture up? Because there's something I want to show his picture and make a comment.
Yeah, we'll do that after when we finish. We'll do it.
Yeah, let me know.
All right. So that show.
Oh, and it's not about politics. It's about what we're talking about. I just wanted to show his picture when I say what I have to say, but it's about this topic.
Okay, cool. So that show that y'all just saw, let me tell you something. I got a chance to watch it once. And when I watched it, they debunked everything, all the stereotypes. Right? Tina knows Beyonce's mother did she had people from the CDC. She had all these facts. They canceled it because black women signed a petition and said it should no longer be available because they're not talking about the victimization of black women. And I told you. And they canceled it.
I told you. Here's the thing.
They took it off.
I told you.
Every
people ignore me and they say I'm crazy. They say I'm wrong. No, black people hate each other. It's a fact. By and large, we were engineered to do so. Over hundreds of years of slavery, that people argue with me. I've had a person, Black Man Unfiltered, argue with me. Well, the wilderness theater wasn't real. It doesn't matter. The tactics were used, and those tactics worked. Mission accomplished. You turn old against young and vice versa, man against woman and vice versa. I mean, you turn light skin against dark skin and vice versa. I mean, it all worked. And now look at us. That was something that wasn't harming anybody. In fact, it was shining a good light on our culture. Very good light and debunking things, you know what I'm saying? But you had black women come, just like the whole thing with Ice Cube. Contract with Black America. It's something that affects all African Americans. But then black women shut it down because there's nothing in there for black women. Yes, there is. It's a contract with Black America that includes you. Right. No, but we want these specific things. And it's like,
Can I say something on from what Sir Hill was talking about?
Yeah, go ahead, and then we'll go to the next segment. Go ahead.
I'm kind of like what he's saying, what Sir Hill was saying. It's our responsibility, y'all. It's our responsibility. We're the gatekeepers of the imagery of us. And right now, we are failing as Black men. We're either too damn silent, or we're not speaking up to the right people. We'll sit back and argue with one another instead of arguing with the right people or fighting against, just like what Black Man was saying. When they went and put that damn petition out there to get rid of that, all we had to do was put another petition to get it going.
We should.
For some odd reason, we are scared to speak up for ourselves.
We don't care anymore, JP.
We're scared to speak up for ourselves.
We don't care anymore, JT.
So that's going to lead me to the second part of what we're about to talk about, because
I just want to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stupid people should not be allowed to petition.
But but you can
say
that.
Can't stop it though.
But you can't stop it because they have free will.
I want to say it.
Yeah, okay. But so the next one we have here is
I'm sorry, Black Man. But before you go, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about what you brought up tonight. Y'all, shout out to my brother Black Man. Well, I don't think people appreciate the amount of research my big bro puts into this stuff. Much respect to you, bro. Like real talk.
Indeed.
But here's my question. So there's a petition to stop this particular deal from being out, and they got it taken down. How many of us created a new petition to make sure we kept it up?
Right.
Well, nobody wants to be bothered.
No one knew about it. I didn't know about it.
Yeah, no one knew about it. And two, nobody wants to be bothered with it, Sir Hill.
But hold on, listen. But I'm trying to make a point.
I get you.
Like when things like this happen, I believe that we have to fight against it. I got two sons now, and it's important to me for them not to grow up with the same negative concepts about other Black men as a Black man. Right. And if this means that we have to fight to keep, that was a beautiful documentary.
Yep.
I started to watch it, and this is the first time we see a documentary that's highlighting men in a way that is not poking holes at us.
Yep.
And that gets taken down because there are women who are upset that we're not focusing on them. That's selfish.
And it was done by a woman.
It didn't even get 10,000 signatures. So I'm about to look into if I can even find it. I'm about to go on a different browser, but how it got, who, decided, because it said 10,000, it only got 9,700. So why, you know what I mean? Who was behind it? Why did they take it down? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it was positive. They only said, why would you do it? Most of the women that were screaming out, why would you do a documentary on men and you didn't talk about how Black men victimize women? And I'm like, it's not all Black men some men have victimized, Black men have victimized women, but it's not all Black men. And we're talking about the men that are this documentary was talking about fathers in the homes. They were talking about, they debunked that men were not scary, these big scary men that they perceive us to be. They're talking positive.
It's
it's shit crazy. It's ridiculous.
It's like you having, me beautifully animated and Queen Smiley and all the other women on here because of, what we represent, because, some people say, well, there's already enough women, whatever, acting a certain way that men do not see as favorable. Right. So it's so that's counter to what people are usually saying. You know what I mean? It's the same reason you have us. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
Goes against the Me Too narrative, first of all. Secondly, and more importantly, this is why we need our own platforms. I'm not saying we have to own everything, but the Black community, Black men and women in America, don't own shit, but we buy everything. So the reason someone can take it off of all these platforms and no one says anything about it is because Black folks don't care, Black folks don't know, and we don't have our own joint. Because you look at the thing that Kanye's going through, and not Kanye, but the other one, Kyrie, right, with this video, whatever, this movie, this documentary about the Little Hat people, which is, granted, it's a horrific documentary, but you can go see that. That's on Amazon. They're making tons of money off of that. You know what I mean?
Made more.
And more.
Absolutely made more. Kyrie lost money. Bezos made money. Now here's the thing. That's a separate subject, but there's a platform for that. No matter how horrific, someone's going to let that go up and stay up so people can see it. We don't control anything. And you can tie it all back to politics. You can tie it all back to us fighting with each other, not, a house divided is a house that you can easily conquer. That's where it comes from. There's so much horrific stuff out there on these platforms coming out of Hollywood. You know what I mean? Just whatever. But black folks don't have a say in nothing. They're going to tell you what you can and cannot see. This is a blaring example of that right here. So it's really on us to a large extent. We won't come together to do, and like I said, it goes against the narrative. It goes against the Me Too narrative. It goes against the bigger narrative, the black men or the boogeymen. It goes against all that narrative. So they don't want you to see that. They don't want that to seep in and start to crack, this thing that they have built. And it's just my humble opinion.
Right. And so, and with that being said, I did, because this, what you want to say, Mandrell, I'm probably going to tie into the next thing here. Mm-hmm. The next thing that we're going to debunk tonight about black men, because what I'm trying to do tonight is take the boot off the neck of black men, because we get talked about every day. We ain't this. Black men don't do, they ain't, I want to take that boot off of our throats tonight. And so what I want to do is, the next one is really, really important. And this one, because a lot of people say that we're this. Black fathers are deadbeats, and they're not there. And before I go there, I have to go to the CDC again, because I want people, and I'm gonna put the link in the I'm gonna put this research in the chat so people won't say I'm just talking. All right. It says we cannot equate the number of unmarried dads to the number of fatherless children. First of all, marriage rates don't necessarily reflect the number of black fathers living with their children, as writer Josh Levis said, or whatever. Right. The majority of the CDC says the majority of black dads, 2.5 million of 4 million, do live with their kids, even if they're not married to the partner. This is the research done by the CDC. This is what they reported. 2.5 million men out of 4 million men do live with their children, even if they're not married to the partner, they're taking care of their children. What say you, Sir Hill?
You know how I feel about this, man. We are in there.
I'm telling you.
But here's the thing, though. I don't think the facts are the issue. I think that too many of us, we know what we're doing, and we say, what the heck would everybody else think?
Right.
At this particular point, we got to be more vocal about this. This is why I love what you do, black man. I'll be watching you, black man. I'll be watching. Black man be on them reels on Facebook, or on IG, showing he's with his sons, or coaching, doing stuff like that. That kind of stuff, like we don't need to scroll past that. We need to like that and comment and feed that into the algorithm, because this is what most black men are doing. And it doesn't matter what the relationship status is. Most black men, we gonna love on our kids. If that means we got to go to Family Dollar and take a picture of us getting some honey buns, all right, or we're walking, around the park or shooting hoops or something like this. It's showing black men that regardless of class, we still love our kids, and we're going to love them the best that we know how to do. We got to continuously push that message out there. And then we need our women to complement that. You know what I mean? We need to start, like, women, like, it really pains me. It really does. And I don't mean to take it back here, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It really pains me that culturally, we know that when Mother's Day comes around, it's next to Christmas. And when Father's Day comes around, it might as well not be anything. Like
Christmas is next to that now.
Yeah, right. You see what I'm saying?
It's Mother's Day, Christmas.
Right. Like Mother's Day is rival in Jesus, right? So
and everything else is a toss-up.
And the problem with this is not that, is that it's been so consistent that we've accepted this. And I think that we're going to need fathers to continue being dads, but we have to have mothers who side with us and who understand to be as vocal as well.
Yeah. I'll say, what about, what do you say, JT? What are your thoughts? We in the houses, bro. We with our kids. And that's why tonight I'm looking at the screen. Matter of fact, all the men look at the screen right now. Give your most fierce look. Because right now we're debunking the fact that you're saying on your platforms, women, that we're deadbeats, that black men are not there for their children. Yes, there are some, but the majority of black men, according to the CDC, I'm gonna put this shit in the link, it's the CDC, that we are in the house. 2.5 million out of 4 million are in the homes, and even if they're not married to the women, they still take care of their babies.
So
come on, JT.
I did a show that some of you may have seen this Saturday. It was called The Disappearing or the Dissolvance of the Black Family. And what it was we did a breakdown on a video from 1986, Newark, New Jersey. CBS did a documentary on the woes of the community in Newark, New Jersey. And basically you had black men that they were talking to that were not interested in being a father to the women that they got pregnant. And it was crazy. It was kind of like this whole thing of where this deadbeat dad thing came from, because it wasn't just Newark, New Jersey. That was a microcosm of what was going on in every other inner city. Then you had the women that were speaking was saying that these men were not significant in the family. These were black women that were saying this. You also had mothers of these black men that actually didn't have any reverence for those. And these were their mothers, and they had no reverence for these men. There was a time where the man that was doing a documentary, he asked the woman, where do you see your son? Do you think your son is going to be, great in life? She said, I hope so. She couldn't even say yes. She had 2 sons and a daughter. And they were asking about as far as, do you see your kids being married with their own family and everything? She said, I hope so. I really hope my daughter do. Then she talked about her son. She said, I don't know about them, because they, basically she was saying they were ladies' men. That's another way of saying that they were man whores. So they had no reverence for the black man at that time. And that was in the 1980s. We're in 2022. That same narrative is being pushed for men that are actually taking care of their children. 8 times as many men. But that narrative still was right there for us.
And can I add something to that? Do you remember, and I know you guys are sports fans, so you probably will. Do you guys remember Jacob Copeland?
Mm-hmm.
You remember what his mom did to him?
Did she sue him?
He was at signing day. His dad was on this side, mama on this side, and they said, what college you gonna go to? She already had, I think it was Alabama sweatshirt on.
Sweatshirt, and he went to another college.
And he went to Florida. Yeah, he went to Florida, and he threw the Alabama hat and put the Florida hat on. The dad clapping, the family clapping. The mom gets up mid-interview with all these ESPN cameras watching, and she walks and turns her back on him and walks out the door and leaves him there.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Listen, bro, we're gonna have a show next week. We're gonna have a show next week, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now. I'm just saying, black men are not deadbeat fathers. We're there for our children. We're there.
Not at all.
Mr. Bennett, what are your
thoughts? It certainly didn't help when you had a former president who also played into that same trope, which was arguably the most disappointing thing I ever heard in his presidency when he went up there talking about, take care of your kids again. And you got access to all the statistical data in the world, yet you still put that out there in the atmosphere. So again, when it's coming from our leaders or supposed leaders, and they're putting that trope out there, that just inflames the issue.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, like I said earlier, this unfortunately, this trope about deadbeat. I mean, I just don't know who these guys are. I mean, I just don't surround myself with them. I don't see them.
Right.
And it's just something that when I hear it, it just really makes my blood boil, because I just met a young man who, just my daughter's age, 20 years old, just had a baby. And, not that it was weird, because I met him in a store, and he was with his girl and with the baby. And I said, "Oh, this is your baby." And he was kind of embarrassed, because, I knew him growing up. So he kind of looked up to me a little bit. But I said, congratulations. But you could tell he was doting on his child. I mean, it's not, so I don't see these quote unquote deadbeats that everyone's talking about. But again, it's just another trope. It's just another form of engineering a perception. And unfortunately, again, the sad thing has gotten, a lot of black women to buy into it. And again, we've heard these kind of tropes since when I was in college back in the 80s. So, it's not something that is new, but it seemed like it's, especially with social media and all these other ways people can communicate now, it's even exacerbated. So, but I remember 1988, 89 being in classes debating black women, trying to debunk this trope of deadbeat dads and men aren't ish and whatnot. It's like the same thing, but it's like now we haven't moved forward from that, even though we're supposed to be, I would think, smarter and wiser now, but we still allow these things to propagate. So it's not new, but unfortunately it's intensified in these times.
Yeah. So let's go to let's see, Brief Animated real quick. What do you think about fathers? Because I know you've heard it. As a woman, because I got to give you more on this question. I know you've heard it. I know you heard women say it. I know you probably said it yourself. A nigga ain't shit, right? But learning what you've learned tonight from this, in the actual CDC saying that black fathers are in their children's lives, it's been debunked that they're not in their lives. And the next part, let me say this before you go, because you're a mother too. It said mothers after that, it goes down. And I'm going to put this link in here for everybody. Let me go ahead and copy it and put it in there now. This is the link, guys, for you to look at this, so you won't think I'm just talking in midair here. All right, there it is right there. I just dropped it in the link. The link in the chat. Okay, so it does say here about mothers reports echoes fathers. So most women, it says, least we believe that these statistics are not skewed. Fathers are in the households with their children. They started this research in 2008. All right. They did a survey. Watch this. They did a survey of low-income mothers, and those low-income mothers said that the father stepped up in a major way to help raise the children financially, physically, mentally. They were there for their children. Do y'all hear this? So these women that be on these channels, these women that be on these channels saying these men ain't nothing, they ain't coming over here. It just said low-income mothers have reported. Right under that, it has a report. I just put the link in there, y'all. It says that these mothers in low-income homes and housing, the father stepped up and took care of their children when they weren't even with the woman. When the woman was doing bad, they stepped up. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who's going? Go ahead. Beautiful Animated, go ahead. I'm telling you, bro. I'm passionate about this, bro. I hate when I hear women say that black men ain't nothing but deadbeats, and they deadbeats to the point they need to delete all black boys and delete them all because they're gonna grow up and have babies and not take care of their babies either. We have that. Listen, I went to the concert the other night. Sir Hill was calling me while I was in the concert. I said, man, we at the concert, I was sending them pictures and everything. Let me tell you something that pissed me off. Tamar Braxton got her half lion curled 12 hamburger head volleyball net lip ass up there, and when she walked across the stage, I'm gonna let that sink in for a second.
Wait, what were you watching?
I went to the concert. It was an R&B concert here in Dallas, and they had all the old
bowling ball lips.
Yeah, I mean, she walked across stage, wig down her back. She had on a Aslama wig.
A Wiggum Salam.
She had a wig down her back, and she walked across stage. This is what she said to all the black women out there: y'all stand on y'all feet right now. All the black women stood up because she influencing them, and she said, "I know you probably with him right now. Oh, deadbeat ass, nun ass, romantic ass, black ass niggas. Now, all the women, yes. Y'all know niggas ain't shit. This is what she's saying to the women. The women going crazy. So I looked over at my wife like this. You go ahead.
I'm gonna beat you up.
You better not say a damn
wait. But this is coming from a woman who left her husband because he wanted to get excess skin removed because he lost a ton of weight.
Yep.
So to help his self-esteem and
she was a lesbian.
But do you see?
It's about money too, though, right?
You do see the influence. Then when she take that wig off, she looking like Ross Perot, and now she mad because people are talking about how she looked. She looked like a dead president with that wig off. But okay, go ahead. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
So she had a George Washington wig.
Yeah,
one of the first ones.
She walked across that
stage with a dollar bill.
She walked across that stage. She was looking like an X-Man stunt double, and I was like, "What is happening?" You wait a minute. You better go ahead before I say something else. Go ahead, Sir Hell. I'm sorry, Sir Hell in the background. I'm sorry, Sir Hell. Go ahead.
Niggas ain't shit. Okay, but I don't put and black men in the same category. Okay, now I have a sperm donor, and he ain't shit. But the thing is, that's him. I'm looking at him as an individual. I'm not gonna judge. And yes, you're right. I have heard women say this, that, and the other. It's like, you cannot judge the whole group based on your experience. It's not right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said
that.
It's
not right.
It's not next fair. Week, I got something for you. Next week we'll have another show next week. I got something for that. That ain't shit, nigga. I got something for that. We're gonna talk about that next week. You better. Ooh, I'm gonna have something for you next. You better. I hope you come in here with fireproof clothes on next week because it's going down. It's going down. We're gonna get that about you. But anyway,
what? I just said niggas and black men aren't the same. You think they're the same?
We'll talk about it next week. Okay. DL Saint, what are your thoughts, brother?
It is what it is. You know what I mean? That thing we were talking about, the Braxton chick, a lot of that is money too. You know what I mean? She has to play to that base. A lot of that is money. I mean, you know, I don't move in that space, but I know what they're talking about. Like all the women get up, you would a deadbeat nigga and make some noise. If I was that dude, I'd get up and leave. I want to say a word. I'd get up and leave. See how she get home. And when she get home, all her shit would be sitting outside. Like, all right, I ain't shit. I'm a deadbeat. Bye.
And then on top of that, you talking about it's about money. I hope they paid her because she was trash. She sounded like she had a pregnant possum in her throat. All her notes was horrible. Everything was horrible. Every time she tried to hit a high note, she would put the mic to the audience. You know what I'm saying? So get your non-singing, closed throat. Somebody start talking. Go ahead, DL.
But that's what it's all about, though. I mean, that narrative is never going to leave until we eradicate it. You know what I mean? We all know. Like I know more stand-up guys than I know deadbeat dudes. I know some deadbeat dudes. You know what I mean? But I know way more stand-up guys. I mean, all the men on this panel, all the men that mess with this network, all the guys that come on my platform, all the dudes in the chat. It's more stand-up dudes.
It is.
Than not. You know what I mean? So, and it's a shame that we have to say that. But we do, because the narrative is that black men ain't nothing. All you need to do is go find yourself in the family court system. They looking at you like you ain't shit as soon as you come in there. As soon as you come in there, and here's the thing. On the one hand, you can believe what you want to believe and whatever. If you ignorant enough to believe all these tropes and these stereotypes, that's on you. But on the other, it's getting black men murdered at the hands of the police, and it's getting men run through by the legal system, right? And these also, there's also that stereotype of the angry black woman, right? So you got all this stuff that's going out here, and these people embrace it. I mean, it just hurts us. It hurts us all, and it is what it is. You got to push through it. But being shot by police and going into, by the police, Mandrell, I want Mandrell to think I'm ghetto as hell. Getting shot by the police and also going to jail over back child support, and come to find out the child isn't even yours, and nothing happens to the person who put you in jail in the first place. But if you gonna call that justice, nah. Now we got issues, but it's our fault. We're not getting involved in the process. We're not voting. Speaking of voting, the Senate, Republicans are up 45-43. Looks like the Republicans may take control of the Senate, y'all. Hopefully just be about a city or two.
Stacey Abrams lost Georgia too.
Oh, we knew that was going to happen. You got the House. You got the House. The Democrats are down. Republicans are 202. Democrats are 173. You need 218 to take control of the House. So the House has definitely gone to the Republicans. And then the governor raised 23 Republican governors so far versus 13 governors.
So Dia, let me add this to. I'm gonna get Dusto. Dusto, I don't know if you've been watching from the beginning, but there's two things that we debunked already. That black men are not these scary men that they say the world say that we are. You know, when they see us coming, go across the street because these are dangerous men. The CDC debunked that by saying that we're not those men. That's not the truth. And then then I pull up another CDC fact here that black men are involved in their families. 2.5 million men out of 4 million men. Do live with their children, whether they're married to the woman or not, they still take care of their children. So what are your thoughts?
First thought is B. Before having a conversation, let's say you're having a conversation with because most of the time I hear this from black men and black women, the falsified stats. Right. First, be that person. Then when you had a conversation, it's not much they can say.
Right.
Black men ain't making no money. That's not true.
Right.
We're all these men that's which one do you want to talk to? You want to talk to in your state, this state, or this state? Because it's pretty much me and my friends. We're not those people. Well, black men ain't got no daddies. You want to talk to my father, grandfather, other grandfather, sisters? Which one you want to talk to? I mean, just shut it down. Then you start getting to the. But what we can't do is be Johnny Emotions, walking around with his black baseball bat as soon as they say something. Because some people just don't know. Because people keep telling, I don't know who keeps doing it. They keep telling all this stupid stuff. And I even fell for it. When I was a teenager, I was about 10 or 11, 12 maybe, even younger. There's more black men in prison than it is in college. I heard it multiple times and somehow I thought it was the truth.
And it wasn't.
I found it was a lie. I talked to an educated cousin of mine about a month ago, master's degree. She said there's more black men in jail than are not in jail. Master's degree.
What?
I couldn't believe it.
How? There's
who in the hell? I was like, let's do the numbers.
Yeah.
More of them
there's not enough space prisons for that.
That means the biggest employer in the world will be the jails.
Right.
That means the football stadiums will be empty seats and there'll be women. And I just asked her, when you went to AutoZone, was it a whole bunch of women lifting them brakes? You went to the football game, there was a bunch of women in there looking for the men. How in hell can you? Deep breath.
Just no common sense.
Okay, Dustin.
Then asked me to look up the information. No, I'm not looking that up.
You.
No, just go ahead and believe
it.
Right.
Yeah, but that was the most extreme. But I'll make it quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Other thing is, first, don't be that person that falls into that category. Then you can have a conversation. Then, if they are willing to listen, ask them a couple questions and show them the difference. And then tell them, hey, man, you can't be saying this stuff. It ain't true.
Yeah.
Or show them, hey, we know other races. Like today, there was a woman telling me all the strong, independent stuff. My grandfather raised 5 girls, 5 women, and they all strong and independent. Where the men at? They're all either noodlebacks or they divorced and they ain't there nowhere. She's not black. Normally somebody say, oh, she's a black one. No, she's Puerto Rican. Other races got some of the same problems. But just stereotypes in general.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
Had a conversation properly.
I tell people that too.
Go ahead, Mandrell, go ahead.
Yeah, I tell people that too. Other races have the same exact problems. There's no difference. Like they ask me, Mandrell, we know you dated white chicks. I'm like, so? What's the difference? There's nothing. You ain't running from problems by dating outside your race, man. They're women. They're women. You can treat a woman like a woman.
So, how do you feel about more fathers? The stereotype of more of fathers not being in the home, but they've been doing a study since 2008.
Again, dude, it's propaganda, and people believe what they're going to believe what they want to believe. If you believe that, like the thing I've heard that stereotype too, that there are more black men in prison than out of prison. I'm like, that's mathematically impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's propaganda.
I never heard that. I heard there was more black men in prison than in college.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's a lie too.
That's a lie too.
But I never heard the one.
That's a lie too. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard both of them, and it's propaganda, and people are gonna believe they want to believe. That's all there is to it. Why would you want to believe that? I don't know. You have to ask those people individually.
Can I say something real quick? It's kind of like and all humans are guilty of this. We like to go to the negative. I mean, our brains, it kept us safe by doing that, to avoid danger, whatever. So to see the negative first. But now we all do that no matter what. Just, right out the gate, it's negative, negative, negative. When if I ask someone, actually, tell me, do you know 5 black men or whoever men that are great fathers? I bet people could, but they don't want to focus on that because they're so used, and the media does not help by putting all the negative crap in our faces. And I was also thinking too about like the yellow car, phenomenon. Like if you think about a yellow car or you get a yellow car, you're going to see them everywhere. So if you're focusing on black men being bad fathers, your brain is going to find evidence for it. Right. Even though you just admitted that you have 5 that you can think of off the top of your head. It's like it doesn't serve anyone to think like that, especially when it's not true.
Can I add to this really quickly?
Yes.
Here's why and Coach K, excellent point. Here's why it's so hard for people to accept facts. Because when you've been fed something, you build your whole life, your decisions, your biases, your perspectives off of what you believe. And this means that in the face of new evidence, if you're forced to recognize that maybe the way you've been treating people, some of the things you've said, some of the biases that you projected are wrong. Now you got to go back and apologize. Your whole worldview. Yep. You see what I'm saying? And so they live in this perpetual conflict. And I think people are going to have to be okay with they were wrong. I think that's a problem with so many people. They can't admit that they were wrong about something and then have the humility to change that. So I think a lot of our sisters, and again, it's not all their fault because the media fed this, and even some of our own families did this. But I think that we're going to have to get to a place that maybe what you've been fed was absolutely wrong, and then it's time to change that.
Hey, so JT, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, we already know that as far as black fathers being deadbeat, it's been debunked so many times. At least the last 5 years, it's been debunked. They even had commercials. They didn't last long, but these commercials were encouraging men and even showing men's being father. I don't know if you guys ever seen the one where my man was with his daughter doing the whole cheer thing with her. Yeah. When she was cheering. If very few people probably seen it, but they were trying, and I don't know who was sponsoring that commercial, but you had that type of commercial. You have commercials with fathers, playing with their kids, and you had a lot of commercials that were doing it, but then you had this whole thing that come right after it about that toxic masculinity. Gillette did some shit on toxic masculinity and all these other things. They had I think Charmin or Cottonelle. I can't remember which one of those folks that was doing that. So I think the new deadbeat is not the one that's not taking care of his kids. The new deadbeat is the one that don't want to deal with their mama. So this is why that narrative is being perpetuated in certain ways, because it's a gender. This whole thing we got now is like a gender war. And we already see that most of these fathers are fighting for their kids now because we've been talking about it. People have been telling all these fathers, you got to fight. You got to fight. We just had to figure a new way out to fight. That was it. That's the new deadbeat dad, is the one that don't want to deal with the woman.
All right. Appreciate that, man. So let's see here. What about you, Mr. Bennett? What are your thoughts when it comes to the men actually being in their homes and this whole stereotype of men are just deadbeats and not there? What are your thoughts?
Well, certainly, as was already said, I think it's definitely a trope. But I want to sort of piggyback off what JT was saying. So I've seen a lot of those commercials that you're talking about. And I am seeing that what they're also doing now, again, whether rightly or wrongly, I think for many of us, what a father is supposed to represent is also changing. Like Beauty Family said that they're showing commercials where the dad's fingernails are being painted.
Right.
Or he's in a toupee. Or doing things that are not quote unquote manly.
Manly, right.
But we've talked about this before. Like for a lot of us, if you had a baby boomer as a dad, you know, he worked a lot, he was seldom home, and he didn't necessarily go to all your football games.
Right.
Because you had 5, 6 kids or whatever, and he had to work his job, his main job, and 2 other shifts. So he wasn't there. But we've certainly redefined fatherhood to say, well, you need to be so involved with your children in terms of how you raise them. So it's not only just providing financially, that was like how you define fatherhood. You being a provider was your number one attribute. Now it's like they're adding all these additional layers to what fatherhood is supposed to represent. Like I had a daughter home. She was this weekend. She's got some of her wigs that she wears, and she actually wanted to put one on my head because she was trying to comb it out, and the wig, the bust that she had wasn't working very well. So she said, "Dad, your head is perfect.
We
Can
need
I
her
put this wig on my
information,
head?"
Black Man. And we need a camera on that immediately.
Did you do it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going that way.
Did you let her paint your nails?
Would you like to report her? Would you like to report her?
I didn't let him paint my.
You let her paint your nails?
I've never gotten into a toupee, and I've never gotten to any the ballet tights or anything like that. But I'm just thinking that. But we are seeing fatherhood. We are seeing that redefined in terms of what a quote unquote good father is. So I think that is one observation that I am seeing.
Yeah, and, I mentioned the nails and stuff like that because it's just you're meeting the daughter on their level, what
right.
It's stuff like that, whatever. It's not taking away your masculinity. You're just doing what you're just finding what she likes, and you're doing it together, and that's what the
See, that's a teachable. But you know what? I have to push back on that. I think that's a teachable moment. I think that when your daughter tries to put makeup on you or lipstick on you, at that moment you should say, "Hey, baby, I'm daddy, right? So if you're gonna do makeup, you can do makeup with mama because that's mama. You put fingernail polish on mama, but this is daddy, right? Daddy's gonna hug you. He's gonna love you. He's gonna take care of you. He's gonna provide for you. And if you want to jump on my back and I could be your big horse and run through the house, we could do that. But men don't do fingernail polish, honey. That's what I can tell.
No, that's cool too. But I'm just saying, kids always want to do things with their parents. Is what I'm saying. That's the most important.
Beautiful. Can I respond to you on this one?
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you why this is important. I hear what you're saying. Heart is connection with the kids. I 100% agree with you. Let me tell you why men are doing that. We're not doing that because we just want to. We're doing that because deep down we feel the need to prove our worthiness as fathers because society has made it look like masculinity is a problem. So we're willing to go through great lengths just to prove that we're worthy fathers. And I think that men have to avoid that. Men must be fathers, and there's got to be clear differences on what mothers provide and what families provide and what fathers provide.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like in the even in the advertising or again the image, because we've been talking all night about again programming, right? Or how perception and how things are almost being engineered. So even fatherhood to an extent is being re-engineered in terms of what that looks like. And it's not always at the baseball field or the soccer field or the whatever. It's in these other things. Like I said, it's just an observation. Like I don't really know what to think of it in terms of is it a good thing or a bad thing overall. But I just noticed it is a change that we've been seeing recently in terms of what a father is supposed to be.
I think it's a bad thing, in my opinion. But
Okay.
What?
Because like you have, well, it just depends. I mean, and this isn't going to be every single family, but like you have and I only grew up with a single parent, so I didn't even experience this, but perfect. If someone asked me what I want, I would say this: mom and dad, and then they complement each other in the sense where the mom is nurturing and then the dad is, the tougher one, the provider, whatever, protector, but also he's the man. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it, because like you just get it. You know what I mean?
Masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
It's even the way we, when we play with our kids, no matter if they're a girl or boy, we kind of roughhouse with them. Like, I know the dads on here, the kids, when you throw your kids, you would throw them far up in the air.
Oh yeah,
and you would scare everybody that's around because of how
slam. I put the sleeper on them. I put the figure 4 leg lock. Yeah, and I got daughters, so yeah,
I got daughters, and I've done all of it.
With me.
Tossing them.
Yeah, and we used to play football.
Had pillow fights.
Right. You play football. Down said hut, hike them up through the leg. My brother, I run down the hall. My brother would throw my little sister right down the hallway. I'll catch and fall to the floor with her. I mean, that's how we did
not about to,
but that's
I'm not about to do the whole thing with the paint, the nails.
Even with my kids, same thing. I didn't rock bottom my kids, put them in the figure four.
My sisters come on this panel and told y'all I used to teach her karate.
She was your punching bag.
You were just playing, right? You were just laughing and calling it karate.
No, I really did teach her. I really did teach her karate, Coach K. I did. I told her she knows how to fight now. So,
hey, brother, Black Man, you need me to drop? You need me to drop down so Tommy B can come up?
No, you good right now. Until you're ready to go. When you're ready to go, then
I'm about to drop down. I'm not feeling well at all.
Yeah.
Push through that, Airborne. Quit playing.
Come on up, Tommy. Then Mandrell finna go and play with his pussy.
Don't you got?
No,
two
I'm talking about your cat, man.
No, that's JT. JT has 2 of them.
I got 2 pussies.
Yeah. And see, Black Man,
everybody's
JT,
so sick-minded.
JT, Black Man's just jealous. He wish he had. He wish he had one.
Striped pussy and a gray pussy.
Hey, Tamika, how you doing?
So Tamika's in the building. So Tamika,
thank you for joining the panel.
Have you been watching tonight, Tamika?
Yes, I have been watching.
So what are your thoughts? And then we'll go to the next segment here. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I took some notes. So the first question was, or what I assume the question was, Black men are threats. I don't think Black men are threats. I think that they were taught to be predators. We are supposed to look at Black men as predators, which can be a form of a threat, but this is very specific because it instills fear in people's hearts when they are around a group of Black men. And so, I feel like being labeled as a predator and looked at in that way is more dangerous than just vaguely saying that they're threats. And so Black men have been taught to be feared. Like, we are supposed to fear you guys. We are supposed to not run to you for protection, but run away from you because we are not protected when we are around you. I'm just saying in totality. I don't want to say that that's something that was taught in my household because, I had a father, right? And so that's not what he said. But of course, there's some common things like, if you're outside and there's a group of Black men or men in general, definitely cross the street, you know what I'm saying? Just to alleviate anything that's going on. The whole Black man ain't ish and they deadbeat fathers. I don't know about the deadbeat dad thing because there is a lot of single women, single mothers running around here who are claiming that their baby fathers are not in the home and are not caring for their children. And I would definitely like to look at that CDC stat that you posted because I think there's a difference between, monetarily taking care of your kids and physically being in the house with them.
Yeah. And that's what that's what it says, because it says, I'm looking at it here, it says, I put it in the chat as well, guys. It says Black dads, 2.5 million out of 4 million do live with their children, with their kids. And even if they're not married to their partner, they're still there financially and there for their kids mentally and all that other stuff.
So that encompasses men who, that 2.4 million encompasses the men that are actually in the home and the men who are just financially able to provide
and be there for the year.
Right. So this is both. So in my mind, that still tells me that could still be half of that. It could be 1 million out of that 2.4 million that are in the home, and then there's 1 million of them that is not. And the 1 million that's not in the home, that's just financially caring for their children, that woman, that single mother who's caring for those kids, are still pushing the daughters to be masculine and the boys to be feminine. And so it's still a problem. We need our dads in the household. We need to see him, right? And so I'm not taking away of that. I thought that was strange. But yeah, I don't think that Black fathers are deadbeat. I think that the women get mad that they don't want to be with them. And so she makes it hard on him to see his kids. And that's how it really go. And the moment that he stopped giving her, you know what I'm saying, then she gonna get mad and start causing issues. And so that's just what really be going on. And the girlies are mad and they're not trying to own up to what really be going on. But that's exactly what happens.
And you know what? I want to apologize because I read that first line, but I didn't read this to you. Okay. So I'm going to read this second part to you. It says, and second of all, according to the CDC, Black dads, whether they live with their children or not, are more actively involved with their children than any other race of men. Oh, it said, for example, the CDC reports that Black fathers who live with their children are more likely than fathers of other races. All right. So let me get down to because the part that you talked about, the father not being there. It said the report also reveals that among dads who don't live with their children, Black dads are more likely to be involved in care, including reading to their children, helping their children with homework, being there for their children mentally, spiritually, and financially, talking to them about their days and talking to them about activities more than Hispanic and white dads combined. Non-residential Black fathers are also the least likely to report that they are not all involved in the care of their children, including bathing, dressing them, changing their diapers, and playing with their children as well. That's what it says.
I agree.
Hey, Black men, y'all better stand up.
No, for real.
Come on.
White men ain't shit.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My dad was great.
Quick update on the race, y'all. For the race for the Senate, Democrats 46, Republicans 46. It's a race to 51, y'all. So it's a lot tighter than anybody would think. Race for the House, Democrats 174, Republicans 203. Keep in mind, California is still yet to come in and report. So it's going to be a slew of representatives coming out of California alone. And you also have half of Texas, and you got like Washington. So this race is a lot closer than anybody thought.
All right, so
which is surprising. But
Tommy B in the thing tonight. Tommy B.
Red wave.
What's happening?
You a father, and Tommy B take care of his kids and be there for his kids, read to his kids, discipline his kids, jump off they jumping off the table, body slamming him.
Fucking my couch up right now.
What's your thoughts on it, Tommy B?
I gotta say this, bro. And I hate this about this country. We over-sexualize every fucking thing, bro. My fucking 2-year-old doesn't give a fuck whether a man or woman is supposed to have lipstick on. She don't care. It ain't that deep.
Right.
And I think people think too deep into the shit. When you talking about now, my 11-year-old, she wouldn't even think about painting my nails. She just knows not to.
Yeah.
But my 2-year-old, she just want to play with daddy. Right. So it ain't that deep. You know, I don't like.
Tommy, do you body slam your 2-year-old?
Huh?
Do you body slam your 2-year-old?
What? What you talking about? I ain't gonna lie to you, though. I've been trying to calm her brother down because he didn't got into that shit now. He climbing and jumping. You gotta relax. But no, I just, I done did the tea parties, the Barbies, all that shit. You feel me? Like I think people just be overthinking this shit the same way that if you roughhouse your daughter, it don't mean she gonna be a tomboy. Like it's just playing with your kid. So yeah, if she want to paint one of your nails, who gives a fuck? I'm not walking around outside with that shit on, but if that makes her happy, I don't give a fuck. Now I ain't walking around with no dress on. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Hey, if I see your 6'3" ass in a tutu, you ain't gonna never live it down.
We ain't doing that.
But
you
can I say something real quick?
You're not dressing up as Frozen.
Hey, they tried.
And
I'll be the snowman.
So I told about my daughter. My daughter's 21, by the way, when she tried to put that wig on. So
The thing is, Tommy, but you are a masculine dude.
Yeah.
So, which I think, like,
I'm not when I'm around my daughters. I ain't gonna lie to you. They be after me.
right. But that is you. But at least, like, you still have that presence where, like,
Yeah.
I think in Black Man, tell me if I'm wrong. I could see in some, especially as far as the media goes and the marketing, you see a dad who does not exude masculinity,
Dewayne
and then
Wade.
I'm not saying anything, but when and then you have him painting nails or having nail polish, it's like, oh gosh. So it's like there's probably a difference, but you are a masculine dude,
But,
so I could see why it's like
he was doing that on his own. First off, like he was painting his toenails and shit on his own. You feel me? Like that, and that was kind of like a little thing in the NBA. I remember Shaq was doing it and all that. Like that was a little thing for a second.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird, but that was a thing. But I'm just saying, like, when I'm in the room with my daughter, I mean, whatever she do pretty much goes. If she want to throw a wig on me, I'm gonna be slanging that motherfucker around. Like it's not that deep. You feel me? Because you feel no, I can't.
Hey, bro, my thumbnail tomorrow's coming out with my reaction to Tommy B. My comments tonight.
But even and I'm gonna be 100 with you. Even with like the boys, most boys go through that little phase where they want to fuck with the mama's heels, and it ain't because I want to be a girl. It's because these are some interesting shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think people think too deep sometimes into the stuff because, and I think that's where the actual word of what do you call that shit when you with the alphabets.
Yeah, I do. I will say I agree with Coach K. Let me tell you what part I agree with Coach K saying. Tommy B, we know you're a real dude, and your kids do too, and they can exhibit. They know that. They're around daddy, right?
Yeah.
Like my kids would know that. Like when my little girl was younger, I fell asleep on the couch watching her, and I woke up and she had lipstick all over my damn lips.
They gonna dress you up. Yeah.
Right? But she know daddy. And you know what? My wife took a picture of that and she posted it online. I tell you, gotta take that down. You gotta take that down. You gotta listen, take it down now. But seriously though, man, they know that. But look at Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade said, I saw femininity in my son at 3.
And that's what I'm saying. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a whole different issue. And I think what happens is people conflate them together. Like, my daughter wanting me to, play with the Barbies don't mean that she thinks I'm a girl. It means her mom ain't available. So, hey, I need you in here. You feel me? Like, that's all it is. So I don't look at it that deep to be like, if she paint my nails, I'm teaching her the wrong thing. No, it ain't that deep because, like y'all said, 99% of the time, I ain't on that. Now, him on the other hand, he's trying to accept shit that his son's doing and yada yada yada. That's a whole nother thing. But
hey, brother Tommy, you had me on board right up until the shoes. Right up until the shoes shit.
But listen, DL, in saying that, I'm not saying like I'ma just have him regularly doing, but I understand. Because, see, this is why I tell people, kids are the freest people in the world until we give them these rules. When they do stuff, they do it innocently. We interpret it as something else, and that's when it becomes that.
Right.
They're just I have to tell people all the time, like my son, he's 3. My daughter is 1. She'll be 2 in January. Everything is new. Anything that they see is brand new to them. So they're exploring. And I think what happens is, we take our 25, 30, 35, 40-year-old brains and we think for them instead of understanding that, I came here the other day. He had my damn chair up against my counter and he done found out a way to get to the snacks. He's exploring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what they do. So I think sometimes adults have to understand that this is a 3-year-old. He's only been on this earth for 3 years. Everything is new to them. So when he sees those high heels, he's not thinking like, I want to be a woman. He's thinking, these are interesting shoes. They make me taller, yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm not going to say, every time he put them on, be like letting them prance in them. Hell no. But if he walks in the living room, and this is what I mean when I say the overreaction, because I've seen it before. And surprisingly, to be honest with you, I've seen it from like single moms more. Like, walk in here, boy, stop acting like an F word. It's like, yo, you gotta relax. Like,
right?
He don't even know what that is.
Hey, real talk though. This is why I like coming over here, brother Black Man. This is why right here, because what brother Tommy just said it is profound and it blew my mind. It's like you're right. Little kids explore. That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I'll say this real quick too, Tommy. Now, the temperature of the world we in today. Let me tell you this now. Ooh, Lord have mercy. We have people passing laws right now for kids to have their sex changed at 10 and 11 years old. The kid, and I said this 2 weeks ago, and I know it ain't sexy and people don't like it, and I don't give a damn. Kids don't even know what kind of cereal they want to eat in the morning. And you're going to make a decision for your son to cut off his penis, or your daughter to take, your son to take hormone pills to get breast, and their bodies are not even fully developed yet. So now they're passing laws for 9 and 10-year-olds. So now it's gotten more severe now because they want to have these surgeries and get.
But you also got to recognize, Black Man, and I 100% agree with you. But you also got to recognize that's the extreme.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's no case where that's going to become the regular. Like those are going to be.
I wish that was the case, but I think it's becoming more prevalent than people realize.
No, I agree. It's becoming more prevalent than say when we grow up. But what I'm saying is,
messaging, yeah.
I don't think that will ever become the norm. I don't think normal parents are going to go, "Hey,
of the population now."
Exactly, and I think that's what happens is we see like this small piece, and they do something so extreme, and then we make it a way bigger issue than it is. Like I can probably guarantee you, even if they push that law, I'm probably in my life not going to know anybody that's going to do that shit.
Right.
But
I disagree.
Because I mean, it's a lot happening, but now, I mean, to the point where I know a girl right now, I'm not going to say her name because she's been on this platform before, but she has a child, and she said her daughter's 2, and she said, I said, "Oh, look at my little niecey. Oh, come here, girl." She said, "Don't call her that. Don't call her or niece." She said, "We're going to allow her to grow up and pick her own gender."
Yeah.
The girl is 3. The girl is 2. I think she's going to be 3. She's about to be 3 in a few months, I think, maybe. But she's about to be 3. She said she's going to have to pick her own gender.
The problem is this: when the law,
she doesn't even know anything about gender because you're not teaching her about gender.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she's 2. Finna be 3.
Here's the problem with that. You know what I mean? The problem is they are configuring the law in such a way that children have legal standing. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Well,
you know what I mean?
They're picking and choosing what they have legal standing with. You see what I'm saying? Because there's certain stuff. Because I even had this argument with when you take boys of a certain age and then you take girls, and it's like, oh, you're too young to have sex with this girl because this is a certain age, which everybody agrees with. But at the same time, if a boy that exact same age, M's somebody, oh, that's a grown man. He made a grown man decision, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Just that. So they pick and choose when they want to let you be a kid and when they want to, let you be an adult. But I will say, I'm in California. The alphabet's been going crazy out here like crazy. And that's not in my daily life. That's what I mean. Like, you would think that I would have, 4 or 5 different friends in that community. Bro, it's not. And it's not because I avoid them. It just ain't in my daily life. And I live in California.
It's not in your circle.
Yeah, like I got like a cousin or 2 or something like that. But what I'm saying is, on my everyday basis, I can go 7 days and not come in contact with one. Facts. So that's what I mean is we take these issues that are I think that are minimal, and because they're extreme, we make it as if it's going to become the norm. I don't think it's ever going to become the norm that kids are beginning. I mean, 1, because of the cost, but 2, just because I don't think the majority of the population is wired that way. I think we had this small proportion that's just wackos, and they believe this stuff. And go ahead.
I'll tell you this: I work in corporate America.
In the schools,
they're letting your damn insurance pay for sex changes now.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. But what I'm saying is, I mean, like, and I will say this too. Like, I will say, like, even with what happened?
No, I heard somebody scream.
Somebody was
no, that's my kids. I told you they back here going crazy, dog. Yeah, they back here going, man. Yeah, they turned up.
Hey, look, and brother Tommy didn't even register with him. He was like, "Oh yeah, what's there? 15 minutes. Y'all can sit y'all watch by that."
Hey, this regular. It's regular. He'll probably be streaming in a second too. But
Tamika goes
but no, I think that is
Everybody was like,
my biggest problem though. I think with that situation is they're teaching these kids this stuff at an age where I ain't even like girls. Like girls was icky to me at the age that they trying to teach these girls. I mean these kids this. Yeah, and they teaching them, are you this or are you that? It's like, motherfucker don't even know if they like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich yet. So that part I do, I do think is a little bit wacky, this, that, and the other. But I will say, like my 11-year-old, again, I'm in California, so we the most extreme with this shit. And I talk to my 11-year-old all the time. She's not confused with none of this stuff or going through none of this, yada, yada, yada. Now, I will say her best friend is going through her little, do I like girls and all that shit.
Right.
She's 2 years older, so she around like 13. And even that, I mean, I don't know.
Sister Tamika has something.
Tell me this, y'all, before we move on, because I want to get his perspective on the deadbeat dads. So now that we have proof from the CDC showing that fathers are involved, they're changing their kids, they're reading to their kids, they're financially there for their children, they're there for their children all around. The majority of black men are. What are your thoughts on that for the women that are saying men ain't shit, that black men are not in the household and they're deadbeat dads?
I been knew that was cap, but I mean, like I've even asked some women, just simple fact of why do niggas gotta fight to see their kids? I don't give a fuck about the finance. Just think about that. I have to fight to see my children. That sentence alone is the issue, and they don't ever focus on that part of it because it's become so accepted that that's the process that you go through when you break up. That people, it's become the norm that, oh, you break up, oh, you go through this, and then you got to go through this process to get your kids. When in actuality, you should just be like, come get your kids around this time, yada yada yada. Like I told y'all, I got 2 BMs, and I have no problem getting my kids when I want to, whenever. And if they need me to come get them, I come snatch them, yada yada yada. So I think that's the issue. Is we've gotten it, we've made it become the norm that a father literally has to fight to see his kids, which is the craziest shit in the world.
That goes to what I said earlier. New deadbeat dad is the dad that don't want to deal with the mama.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, 100%.
I know Sister Tamika was trying to jump in there for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead, Tamika.
Thank you, Dio. I was wanting to touch on what Tommy was saying earlier, and I think that first of all, I want to say that the things that we don't experience in our direct lives does not mean that it does not impact you, right? It just means that it hasn't touched you yet. And you still should be concerned about it because your children have to attend these public schools where they can go into school and switch their whole identity. And your daughter is your daughter when she's at home with you, but she can be called Tom at school, and the teachers are legally not able to call you and tell you that this is what your daughter does, right? And I'm not saying that this is what your daughter does. I just use that as an example. Another thing is you made a statement earlier saying that kids are just exploring and it's what we put on the children. I 1000% agree with that, right? But I could see the ABC community using that as an excuse to like, well, y'all the one overly sexualizing our community in this sense to where they can't no longer choose their identity, because you're telling me that you want my 6-year-old son in pre-K or kindergarten or first grade or whatever grade he's in to start making decisions on if he wants to be binary or non-binary, or if he wants to do these things. And it's just like, he don't even, like I said, he don't even know what cereal he wanted this morning. He put on a rain boot and a tennis shoe this morning. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, let my child be a child. You know what I'm saying? And so all I'm saying is that I want parents to, because I'm not a mom yet, but when I be a mom, I'm about to be fierce in them PTA meetings. You better not touch my kids with that bullcrap. But I want parents, I would love to encourage parents to really get serious about being in the business of making sure like what is being taught to the children in schools, especially in these public schools, because there's a lot of things getting slipped underneath the noses, and now the teachers are not allowed to tell you guys for fear that they're going to lose their jobs. And a lot of their teachers are ABC community members, right?
Yep.
So that's another thing you got to worry about. So it may not be touching you right now, and you may not see it on your day-to-day basis. Also, pedo, I don't know another term, right? They're lowering the age of consent, especially in California, because
maps is one you could say.
They want to ensure that these children can now make decisions on who they want to lay down with, so these older people can lay down with these children. Because now it's like, well, if they can decide what gender they are and who they like sexually at the age of 14, then at the age of 12, this kid can tell me that he want to touch on me and I'm 35. You know what I'm saying? And so we let the small things slip through the cracks, so that when the big things come, you already knocked down. They done already got everything over you. And so I just want to encourage parents to really stay on top of this, because it may not be touching you today, but it will tomorrow.
No, and yesterday on Security Boss, on Monday, Security Boss, real Erica's a teacher. And she said the things that she sees in those schools, I mean, from girls, she said she didn't call girls in the bathroom licking on each other. She said she done caught them in there sucking each other breasts, they in their tongue kissing in the corner. Like she said, and the dudes are so numb to it now, they just walk past it like it ain't even nothing. Like, oh, okay, well, it is what it is. All right, you know. She said the dudes are doing the same thing. Like she said, it's just so normalized now that it's just.
What grade is she in?
I think she's in. I think it's middle school, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely middle school, because Brother Black Man, when y'all said that, right? I was ninja watching that.
Oh yeah, you was watching it yesterday. Okay, yeah.
And when I saw that, I was ninja watching. I took my daughter to, I take my daughter to school every day. My daughter's she'll be 14 in January, right? And I began to ask questions because of that. Because of that, hey, are there a lot of girls who have girlfriends at school? Are there a lot of girls holding hands? And it took a few minutes. My daughter was like, yeah. And I actually caught her slipping because it was early and she was tired. So she was telling me the truth, and then she caught herself, because the kids understand that there are two worlds that they're living in. There's the world at home and there's the world at school. And that's why it's dangerous to give them legal standing. This is a very, very subtle, very direct method to take your children away from you. Because if they go to school and get into this world and they finally come home, it's like, no, I'm doing this. They have legal standing. And that's the scary part. So I agree with Brother Tommy in the sense that, they are experimenting, but we still you can't let our guard down, because this is going on right now. And I wouldn't have said nothing. I wouldn't have thought about it if it wasn't for watching Brother Black Man on the sisters platform over there, because it blew my mind. And once my daughter slipped, she was like, I got to tell him everything. And she started telling me everything. Are they trying to get you to date other girls? Yes, Papa, they're trying, but I don't really want to date anyone. I don't want to date boys or girls. I'm like, okay, you don't have to. So here I am talking now, 15 years ago, it'd have been war. Yeah. I'd have been in there. Y'all have saw me on the news. But you can't do it that way, because now your kid is gone. It is legally gone. There's nothing you can do about it.
And you know what really burns me up? I got a 14-year-old daughter too, bro. And let me tell you something. You know how your daughter, y'all, anybody got daughters, Auntie here, Auntie TJ, thank you for being here tonight, sir. You know when your daughter is a little girl, she running around the house, little flat chest, oh, daddy, oh, I just love my baby, right? And then all of a sudden, my 14-year-old hit a growth spurt.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, boom, bam, bam, bow, bow, boom, bow, bow, I say, and I'm like, oh shit! I told my wife, buy her all baggy clothes, please, because I know grown men gonna be looking at my baby. I don't want to go to jail. Can you please? And my wife said, listen, you can try to hide it. She said the girl is just curvy, and that's just the way she gonna be. And my baby walked out the house in them pants. I said, oh my God. So I went to a football game with my son, and I'm watching my son play. And one of the coaches, I'm overprotective, y'all, so y'all forgive me, pray for me. One of the coaches looked like a little young cat, had little dreads, or whatever, on the football team. He turned around and made it his business to point up in the stands at my fucking daughter and say, hey, Lena, what's going on, girl? I said, what this bitch nigga, why is he pointing and speaking to my daughter I say shit. Well, I asked my daughter. I said, what is he? How you know him? She said, Daddy, he teaches physical education. I said, I don't give a damn. And my wife said, calm down. I need to go talk to him now. She said, it's second quarter. You're in the middle of a game. I need to talk to him. Because I need to understand why you point my daughter out this whole crowd speaking to my daughter only. And you ain't speaking to nobody else. We got a problem. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
That man said, I'm about to open your envelope.
No, listen. Because I know, and my wife knows too. My wife said the way that Lena, I'm gonna say Lena, I say her whole name. Lena's built up, the way she's built. She said, I know those grown men are grazing looking at her. She said that's a fact.
Right.
Then,
that sounds like regular protective though. They don't sound like overprotective.
Dude,
like I had conversations with little niggas in the classroom.
Bro.
But y'all in the best scenario because you got mom and dad in the house, but y'all in the best case scenario. Imagine that's a split home and mom
my
the
shit's split, but I'm just active. Like I'm super active. But I'm telling you, I done been in
my point though.
Let me out of
That's festering, yeah.
But imagine if baby
passing along.
But hold on, imagine if baby mama's a super 304.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah. I'm just saying, I had to holler a little egg.
Right, and my daughter, I don't know if y'all know about that program. My daughter doing half and half, so she do half the day at the high school, and then she does the other half on a college campus.
Yeah. Oh, no, I ain't heard about that.
My daughter did that.
You see what I'm saying? So that you know about that.
I was too bad to do that.
The P-Tech Academy. So, but go ahead, TJ. Thank you for being here, Sue.
Hey, before she go, I want to know if anybody knows this. I'm gonna flash just for a minute, and I'm gonna see if anybody on this panel know what this is.
On Call of Duty, I'm sure.
Hey, go ahead, TJ.
Oh, shit.
Well,
that is the flag of people.
Oh yeah, you sure right.
Of what?
Oh, for real? They got a flag?
They got a flag.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
They got a flag. Don't take the
That mean I got a target.
Wait, for what?
That's the flag that they're trying to fly right now.
People.
That the LGBT trying to fly. That thing right there.
I got a nice target.
Yeah, take that shit down. Go ahead.
You want to keep flashing it and keeping it on there.
All right, TJ Randolph in the building. What's going on, TJ? What's your thoughts on the whole show tonight?
Well, I just came into this last part, but I will say with respect to the indoctrinating our children at younger ages, I think it is definitely on the rise at younger ages, even in elementary school, to the extent that if you, I was talking to a gentleman and he was telling me about his granddaughter came home and asked the mom, am I gay? And so the granddaughter's in elementary school and she says, well, no, honey, you're not gay. Why do you say that? She says, well, I said my friend looked pretty today and they said, oh, you must be gay. You must be gay. So you cannot even compliment your friends without that being pushed, indoctrinated into you. And I'm so frustrated because, again, being on active duty, when my daughter stayed with my sister and her family for a while, she played with my nephew. They had 2 sons, so she played with the toys that were there, trucks, all that kind of stuff. And when they would come over to my house, I had a girl, so they played with the stuff that was there. It didn't mean that they were gay. It just means they were playing with toys.
That Barbie Corvette used to go crazy. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Straight up mobbing that thing.
Exactly. But you can't even do that now, and I think it's robbing our children of just that childhood,
their innocence, right?
And so now you have it even being pushed down in the elementary school. So again, I'm a product of public school, but there is no, and my daughter, went to public schools and private schools, but based on what's going on in the world now, I said, I will not. I said, if I have to use some of my retirement money to make sure that my granddaughter does not go to public school, because see, I'm a fool. I was a fool about my own daughter when she was in school, because I'm going to be extra foolish concerning my G babies. So it's just terrible. And with respect to the deadbeat dads, I think that was, hey baby, hey.
My bad.
And now you good? Hey baby. You know, we love the kids, damn it. We love the kids.
I think that, definitely, I think that was something that was prevalent or thought to be prevalent more in the 80s, 70s and 80s in my era. I think not so much now in the 90s and definitely into the 2000s. I think what we have now is just some bitter women. Again, because it didn't work out the way that they wanted to work out. They hate the father more than they love the children. And I think that is unfortunate. I'm really hoping that the laws are changing. And what I am doing is talking to, if I come in contact with some women that, have issues with the father, I just kind of grow them real. I'm like, you need to stop. I said, because there are women that wish they had fathers that were involved in their children's lives. So I give it to them real hard and fast. Okay.
And let me say this, TJ, while you here. So this is the last segment of the night, then we're going to cut it down. I want Tamika here for this one because we had this conversation last week. The last one is this. Oh, I can't wait to read the statistics on this one. That black men hate black women and marry outside. Watch this. And let me read it first. Let me read it because I've been ready for this one all night. It says here, all right, come on, CDC been coming through tonight. It says most Americans marry someone of the same race, according to the CDC. A recent report from the Pew Research Center found that 1 in 7 new marriages was either interracial or between Hispanic and non-Hispanic unions. This doubled the percentage of interracial marriages since 1980, but still relatively low. And Dr. Dan Litchard points out, who did the research, the biggest increase appears to be within minority groups. Watch this. White Americans still mostly marry other whites, while 31% of Asians, 26% of Hispanics. What's the number for the African Americans? I'm gonna let y'all guess.
14.
80. You talking about
single digits. It's single digits.
I'll say 10%.
Or
9, 8 or 9.
10%.
Outside or to each other?
Let's hear it.
16% of black men married out.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
16 of them. So when we say black men hate black men not marrying black women, they hate them. That's not true. The CDC just said it right here that only 16% of black men marry other races.
The thing may be that 16% is that 16% is probably in the upper echelon. That's probably why I make so much noise. I'm just guessing. I don't know what the numbers are, but that 16% probably comes out of the top 5%.
31% for the Asians. Damn.
How much for
Actually, I believe Kevin Samuels said actually it drops when you go up. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
Yeah, 16% of blacks. Yeah, 16% of blacks married out, and 9% of whites.
Most of the blacks that marry out, they're in a different country, or they're exposed to a different demographic of women. That's what it is.
I'm gonna have to dive into those numbers and see, and look at that. It's probably covered in there. That's a big ass PDF file. I just looked down. I'm like, I'm gonna have to read all this.
It's a whole. It's a big one.
It's a huge
PDF file. You have to read. I read damn near half of it. I can't read all of it. I ain't read. I'm going to read all of it. I just couldn't read it before I got on here tonight. But so what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Before my race, it has. And I'm not a divester. I still love black men. I love men. Period.
But the question is, do black men hate black women?
No, I'm just saying, like, if they're anything like me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
it has nothing to do with hating.
Your demographic, y'all have a movement called swirling. We don't have no type of movement like that at all.
Hey, JT, that swirling thing is all cap because they don't have no. The ones doing the swirling don't even have a
is that we don't have this. Listen what the question was: do black men hate black women? Right.
Yes, right.
We don't even have no type of movement. Talking about dating outside of our race.
Nope.
Ain't that what the passport shit is?
She said passport, bro.
I'm about to say, ain't that what the passport shit is?
SYS.
No.
No, passport doesn't necessarily, because you can still go to Ghana, you can still go to Africa.
I go
They're not white
You
women
can go to all these
usually.
different other
Them
places.
niggas don't be talking about going no Ghana. Stop the cap.
Right.
But Tommy, most of the dudes don't even have just like the swirlers don't have white men. Passport dudes don't even have passports.
Hold on.
They put out there.
Even be a real passport.
Yeah, they was talking.
In order to be a real passport, bro, this is what you got to do. You got to have money to have a passport and for the way that they talking about traveling.
No, I agree. Just like Dusto said, in order to be a swirler, you got to have a whole ass dude. Like,
right. And when you talk about that passport movement, look at the guys. Okay, let's keep it 100. They want to go down to the DR. They want to go down to Brazil. They want to go down to Colombia. All right. What women are they attracted to? They're attracted to women that look just like sisters in America. That's what they're attracted to.
Right.
So when
white
you
women.
Right. So when you boil it all away, they're not going to Thailand. They're not going to the Philippines. They're not going to South Korea. They're not going to Japan. They're going to get women that they find attractive and they want to love. And those women happen to look just like the women here in America. That whole passport thing, that's a whole nother issue. That's a whole nother show.
And that has nothing to do with black
Hold on,
women.
Tamika, before you go, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I don't think that black men are marrying out because, like this data show, they're not. They're actually marrying their women. But I don't think black men are marrying, period, right? Because there's a lot of single black women. There's a lot of single black men too. And so black men are just choosing not to marry. So that's the married section. I think that black men have a really strong disliking of modern black women of today's time. And I have said on other panels that I've asked the question, do black men hate black women? Because you get on YouTube and all you hear is she's this, she's that, black women ain't this, they not doing these things, all these negative things. And so it's just like, okay, if we're going to continue to sit around and talk about all the negativity about black women, which black women have been doing it to black men for decades, so I'm not taking that off the table. But what I'm saying is if the men are not marrying and they're not marrying no one else, like what is really going on, guys? We're just talking to just having a bashing session right now? Or like
yes,
what?
Pretty much.
And then the women that be in your spaces, of course, we're all the unicorns of YouTube and Clubhouse. So it ain't never us. Nuh-uh, I ain't that woman you talking about. You know what I'm saying? But the women that you guys are complaining about don't even give you guys the time of day to even listen to your content. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just kind of like, do black men hate black women?
Sister Tamika, I got a question for you before you go, if I may.
We don't. We married.
I can answer it for you. Well, go ahead.
No. I got a question for Sister Tamika before she goes. I'm gonna ask you this, and I'm being 100% serious. If the laws were changed today, and women who earn over $50,000 a year were no longer eligible for child support, would that affect relationships within the black community?
Hey, they'll go get jobs working at Burger King shit, so they keep that child support. David, I would tell
that's
you
not gonna go very far in New Jersey, bro.
Hell no.
But do you get my point? Because most women are making more money. Give it 5 years. The average black woman will be earning over $60,000 a year.
You're right.
But they're spending it all anyway.
Give it 5 years. So if you take away daddy government, would that affect her mating strategy in the sense that, well, I'm not going to be able to, because I want the best man I could get. I'm not eligible for child support. I want a relationship.
Hell yeah.
I would for white women.
Can I
in
answer?
general?
Yes.
I agree. I think it is going to change the mating strategy because women will soon realize that they need their men. But we got to also know too that right now daddy government is done with black women, and he is changing some of the laws underneath those right now. Yep. And if she don't wake up before it's too late, she gonna be burning in hell. I'm gonna just say that. Like, that's just what's going on. So all the baby mamas out here trying to trap these dudes and all of these things, like the government's not about, the EBT cards is about to go, your government assistance, your government housing is about to go, all of that stuff is about to go because Joe Biden is coming back for his money, okay? They're about to flip over the United States. They're checking for the coins and the cushions. And if you ain't got it, you about to be SOL. So the girls better get their stuff together. So yes, you might actually have what it is that you're asking for. But then it leads us to the question of, do black men really want them? Do they really want them?
I mean, once you go to this, it's one thing. Let me tell you something, Tamika, then we're going to roll on. My thing is this. Black men do want black women. They just want black women like TJ Randolph. They want black women like Tamika. They want black women like Security Boss. They want black women that understand their power, but they know, like, I remember Music Soul Child did a song and he said, I want to be with a woman that lets me lead, but she knows how to take control in certain situations. Some men are being suppressed. And what I mean by that is men are natural leaders. God created us to be leaders. In most situations, in most circles, men are not allowed to operate in what it is they're created to do. And this is what's causing the problem. Everybody's out of line. And thank God TJ's here, because I talk about her story all the time, even when she don't even know I'm talking about it. She said how she was before she met Mr. Randolph. And she said, wait a minute. She had to reflect on herself and say, wait a minute, hell no, I can't keep being like this. I ain't gonna be able to get them. And she changed her life, changed her mindset. She's married now. She's with her husband, the man of her dreams, the man that she wants to be with for the rest of her life. But if there's no change of mind and no mindset change, and we're still thinking that we still look at what we did tonight. We still are thinking black men are the most violent when FBI said white men are the most violent. We're talking about that, and then we go into black fathers ain't shit. They ain't down there with their kids, and the CDC said, hell, not only are we there for them financially, we're helping them read. We helping them with their homework. We helping them with changing their diapers and bathing them, right? So we kill that tonight. And then then they say, well, black men on these panels, black men hate black women. They not marrying them. But it shows here that 16% of black men married out. So that means we are dating you and marrying you, or we're not marrying you at all. It's either we're with you or we're not with you at all.
Right.
It's just simple. And so we debunked all this tonight. And so moving forward, I don't want to hear shit about men ain't there for their kids. I don't want to hear shit about men ain't marrying black women and we didn't got passports that some niggas can't even afford a loaf of bread, but they can go to Thailand and get some ass. We're not talking about that no more. Right? Because I don't want to hear these excuses no more. Because you know what? I'm gonna keep this downloaded on StreamYard. And every time a woman open her mouth, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna click the button and read it to her. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Tamika, you got anything else you want to say for your lead, sweetheart?
Just keep up the good work, Black Man Unfiltered, and you guys have a blessed night.
All right.
Good night. No doubt.
You too.
Appreciate you, girl. Thanks. Tamika, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we get Coach K later. Hold on, Coach K. That's my bad. All right, let's get my boy in here, JT, in the building tonight. JT, give me your final thoughts, my guy.
Great conversation, y'all. Great conversation, everybody. Oh, man. Oh, boy. You did debunk a whole lot of things, man. And we still can have this conversation could keep going on, but I think we do that on all our other panels. DL Saint and Dusto just be what to say about him.
The Dusto's be
past the plate. But we still have to keep the conversation going because we can go in depth, but we only got about 2.5 hours to be having these discussions, y'all. Anything other than that, man, we're gonna be going and spinning our wheels. But I think that black men, we are, again, like I said before, we are the bearers of our own, I guess, what we would think of being great men, great people. We got to start policing ourselves also, because we got a lot of us that will perpetuate a lot of these stereotypes, especially right now in the later generations. I don't know what to say, because a lot of these stereotypes, it can become true. they can become true if we ain't careful. So we got to start making sure we police ourselves, y'all. We got to start making sure that we actually keep this going by debunking all of these theories about us being, you know, the most fucked up human beings on. That's all I got to say, man. And follow me.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Because before you do that, let me go and give you what you. I'm gonna give it to you. Here you go. Oh Lord! All right, go ahead.
You can follow me at What We Know Podcast with my boy Rob and myself. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing a show Saturday night, but I will be doing a show Friday at 5 o'clock.
Eastern Standard Time.
Having a podcast. Giving thanks to all of our veterans.
Yeah, I'm glad TJ here. TJ, we doing a veteran show at 5 o'clock on JT's channel, and then and then at 8:30 we doing one on my channel. Right, we're gonna keep the love going. Then also DL's doing one on his channel. At what time, DL?
I'll be 12 o'clock. I'm doing it early. It'll be 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 12 p.m.
Yeah,
wait. Y'all do it Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
Y'all do understand that we about to be out eating on Friday, right?
For free.
Yeah, you sure right.
For free.
Yeah,
Ready to get the hubby to
Be
pull me out. I'm
fingers
kidding.
all day. I got the whole list of restaurants right now.
Send that over in the chat.
Hey man, we be doing this all day, bro. We gonna be doing this all day.
Yeah, so you got 12, 5, and 8:30.
And we gonna be rocking
out.
Mine's is called War Stories. It's a lot of things that people don't know about people in the military, the lifestyle, the things that we had to go through. We have
basic training.
Even some of the things that were horrific that may or may not have affected us. You're gonna be getting all of that basic training all the way up into being a career soldier.
Yep, and I can't wait to hear the ladies either. Queen Smiley will be there. TJ Randolph, so I'm gonna send you the link. Queen Smiley gonna be in there with you, in there, and then you. I mean, it's gonna be you. Dusto is also a vet, so you, Dusto, JT. I mean, it's gonna be a bunch of y'all, man. It's gonna be amazing.
So this is, I'm gonna tell you, I have not seen any podcast that's going to be doing it the way we doing it.
Right.
That has ever done it the way that we're going to be doing it.
Absolutely.
So, all right, y'all.
I'm gonna try to pull up. I can't make no promises. I'm telling you right now, I'm going down that list. I promise you.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put the list in the back chat too.
All right. Give it up for JT, ladies and gentlemen. What We Know Podcast. Make sure you go over and like and subscribe. And we'll see him on Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, right?
Yep.
5 p.m.
Absolutely.
Central Standard Time?
No. That's Eastern.
Okay. I'm sorry. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
It's going to be 4 Central.
All right. Absolutely. And we're going to support him. And then right after that, we'll go over to come over here to this network. And Mandrell and Queen Smiley and JT, all these guys are going to be over here just talking it out, man, having a really, really good time. I'm going to be watching from the clouds because I'll be in New Orleans. But I'm definitely going to be supporting you guys and call in once I get settled. So again, thank you so much, JT, man, and everything that you do, man. Thank you for serving the country. And also to you as well. That's coming up next, Miss Auntie TJ. Thank you for serving the country. You, Tommy, Dusto, Mandrell, in his absence, he doesn't feel well. And also to your fiance,
thank you.
Coach K, for serving the country as well. It's so many of you guys. So thank you so much. Tell him that we're gonna be partying out for him on Friday. So if you want to show up in his place, come on through, girl. All right.
I know.
All right. Thank you so much, JT.
Hey, I had to put my wig on. Yeah, a lot.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wig. That's right. Hey, it is what it is. I got some serious
Alaikum,
underneath.
Alaikum salam.
That's so
crazy. Okay. Really quickly, I think, with respect to the last question, do Black men hate Black women? And I think that we know the answer is no, but I will tell you, and I was just talking to Courtney about this earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
When you in these spaces, it is easy to feel that way. It is easy to feel that way. And, you know, I've even heard someone say, a Black woman say that, you know, she feels ashamed to be a Black woman because if you come in these spaces, you're like, well, shit, what can we do right? So it's easy to feel that way. And I think it's important for us, and I'm saying this in, you know, generally speaking, it's important for us to live life outside of these YouTube streets, because if you stay here, you would think, then why should I even bother? And that's for real. Why should I even bother? Now, we understand that men have been crapped on for years. So it begs the question, so we now crap on Black women, and that makes it even. I submit that it doesn't. But I think it doesn't make it even, because again, we'll keep going back and forth. I think there needs to be a balance, but I think it's important for us to, as much as we hold people accountable, I think it's important to lift people up as well. Because again, as a Black woman, I think if I was a younger woman, I might be thinking, well, why should I bother? Because all you hear is, you ain't shit. So I can definitely feel what, you know, I'm not a man, but I could understand why men were saying, well, why should we even bother if you're saying we ain't shit? So I think there has to be a balance. I think it needs to be, I think people need to get away from the social media for a little while and actually experience life outside of social media to know that everybody doesn't feel that way. Because like you said, Black men are marrying Black women more than marrying out. But again, if we stay here, it's easy to forget that. So that's my piece on that. Let's see here. One more. I think that's it, actually. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Will you be with us on Friday? Will you be hanging out Friday for...
Well, possibly. You know, me and Mr. Randolph are going to be traveling a little bit. I'm going out on the road with my baby, so we'll just have to kind of see.
Oh my! Oh, wait, whoa! I gotta give you the preacher too. Then hold on a minute. Please forgive me. But you know what I'm saying? Look at Coach K.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, TJ, man. Tell Mr. Randolph, thank him for being such a good sport and allowing his wife to come in these spaces and giving us some of your time. So I appreciate him very much so as the man in your life, and I appreciate you for being a woman in his.
Oh,
you
also,
forgot her favorite friend.
Also, you know, I'm going on that show that you and you and Sir Hill was on. We'll have to see about that.
Really? When you going, Shug?
Maybe Friday night. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
You know I gotta support you. Hey, you're gonna have some fun over there. Now, don't let them get you drunk over there. Now, they're gonna try to get you drunk. Now, don't let them get you drunk over there.
I have to maintain my composure. I'm an elder. I got to maintain, you know, class and dignity and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I can't be going out like a fool. But anyway, but I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, thank you so much, TJ Randolph, y'all. All right, Mr. Bennett. What are you thinking tonight, my brother? What's your thoughts on the show?
I had asked if I could go on first because I wanted to have with the guys on the panel.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't see
No problem at all. No problem at all. I just wanted to ask a question on the way out because I want to get back to the original topic in terms of the stereotypes of Black men. I wanted to ask a lot of guys would know, what is the greatest Super Bowl?
They still here. I'll bring
what is the greatest Super Bowl commercial ever?
Ooh. What's up? No, I'm just kidding.
That's up there though.
That's my vote. That's my vote.
I would argue that the greatest Super Bowl commercial ever was from 1980, Mean Joe Green, and the Coca-Cola commercial.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really it was so groundbreaking because that was one of the first times in history where you had a Black man who's nicknamed Me Joe Green, 6'5", 275 pounds, and this little white boy, and the whole "you want my Coke" and "hey kid, catch the jersey" and whatnot. And in that commercial, did a lot to change the perception of Black men being these men to be feared. And certainly, it was such a boon for the Coca-Cola, company that actually made a movie with it, Stealing the Pittsburgh Kid, that came out like a year later. So a lot of old guys will know about that. But But I'm just saying, so unfortunately, that kind of imagery wasn't followed up on, because ultimately we still want to put the trope out there as that the black man is dangerous. He's the thug. He's the criminal. He's the, he's going to do all these things. But just that one ad, I mean, imagine if we could have kept that momentum up. But to the point that was said earlier tonight, had that commercial come out now, you'd have somebody boycotting it because it's not talking about women's grievance or what have you. It's just hard to believe that a documentary highlighting good black men can't be supported by our own people.
And it's just boycotted because it's a Steeler on there, but
oh well, the Raiders, they were criminals, so we don't have to go there.
I know Tommy.
We don't have to go there.
Nothing, Tommy. Don't say
we don't have to go there.
You got
John Matusek and the guy from Papelli from New Jersey, all those dudes, they were all thugs, man. But
you got
but in any event, but that's what just goes to happen when we promote positive black image of black men. So if the mainstream's not going to do it, they actually did it. There was an opportunity for us to to really change the perception, and for a lot of people it did, but unfortunately it didn't go far enough. So I would hope that we would certainly be able to continue that. I would strongly urge if Brother Sir Hale, if he does start that change petition to get that documentary back on a platform somewhere where we can all benefit, because I didn't see it, and I'm just stunned that something like that would be pulled off air when you have the controversy now with Kyrie Irving and that whole. Why is that documentary, if it was so controversial, why is that still on Amazon's platform? That's another story. But the fact that we can't get positive images of black men on a streaming platform, then that's telling about our current situation. But I would still encourage all of us to, again, continue to promote black men, positive images of black men. Thank you, Black Man, for this platform and everything that you do to promote. And again, shout out. I mean, that show you had with the ladies who were deaf, the deaf community.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Your heart for people is just boundless, brother. I mean, I was just blown away by your empathy to do that. And that's the thing, that as much as you care about our issues as brothers, as black men, but your heart is big enough to bring everybody to the table.
Right.
And if only everyone had that same kind of mindset, that they can bring that as well. We can each share about each other's struggles and root for one another without having to tear everybody down. So I just really appreciate you, brother, because what you're doing, creating so many opportunities for people to leverage and be a part of this community, man. That's why I love you for what you do. And again, I encourage anybody who, if you haven't subscribed to Black Man's channel yet, please, I urge you to support this brother, because he's doing God's work in this space. So I salute you, brother, for everything that you do. But continue to promote the positive image of the black man and black people, and give opportunities for people. And I'm just praying for your success in all things, brother. I love you for that. Thank you so much.
Man, love you too, brother.
I will say, Mr. Bennett, I don't know if you noticed last year in the NBA playoffs, they specifically had those dads out there. That shit, it shocked me. But you had Ja Morant's dad stayed on camera.
Yeah.
Who was? It was a couple other dudes. I can't. Lonzo, I think dad was on camera a couple of times. But they kept. It was It's the first time I ever seen it. But they was definitely putting them on camera and having them on ESPN and stuff. And that felt good.
Well, it's interesting. But see, now you mentioned Lonzo Ball. Now that I found that interesting, because for a lot of people, he never got the credit for being the father that he was.
No, absolutely.
I mean, he was braggadocious and all that kind of stuff.
They focused on that, other than the work he did. Yeah.
And the work that he did. It was, so again, you still have that obstacle that you're still getting over, but we still need to promote it. And brothers, when we see our brothers going out there and doing those things, again, we all need to get behind these men and encourage them to continue to do what they're doing, encourage fatherhood, and give shout outs to these men who are doing the work. So yeah, absolutely. That was good to see. But the Ball case, that was an interesting one, because they didn't want to give that brother credit for anything.
For nothing.
But I just think, and I'm going to just say this right quick, I don't think that was necessarily a race thing. I think generally in this country, they just don't like the braggadocious stuff. It's the same thing like we like Floyd.
Yep, I just
people like him mostly because he's braggadocious. So it's just generally, in this country, if you're braggadocious, it's kind of like build you up to take you down. So when you get to the top and you get to talk your shit, now it's like, oh, we got to take him down kind of thing.
Yep. And you know what Floyd Mayweather said? I made more money off people who wanted to see me lose than who wanted to see me win.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. So again, thank you, Mr. Bennett, man. Thank you man. Thank you so much for being here, man, and supporting me, man. I love you to death, brother. Shout out to your wife and to your kids, man. And I always know what I say to everybody on the panel, but since you're up here now, covering to you, your wife, your kids, may God bless and keep all of you, man.
Likewise, and be to you as well in multiple fold. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good night, man.
Everyone. Good night.
Don't get up here starting no shit now. Go ahead. What's your final thoughts?
No, to what Tommy B was talking about as far as kids doing what their parents do and stuff like that. It's also kids being influenced because they love their parents and they want to do what they do and stuff like that. My dad used to be a bodybuilder when I was younger, and so he'd be drinking V8 tomato juice. I can't do it now, but I was doing it when I was little. You know what I'm saying?
And that V8 used to be smashing though. I don't do it now. Nobody say. I used to drink that tomato juice to death. I don't know why I liked it so much. It was good.
Me either. It was because
y'all outliers. That shit was trash.
Man, I drank the shit out of it. I don't know why.
My dad had weights, so I had weights. You know what I'm saying? I was a daddy's girl. You know what I'm saying? And that's on that. Now, as far as the race and stuff like that, stop judging people on race, stop judging people on gender, judge the individuals. That's all I gotta say about that. Because really, trying to judge a whole damn group is ridiculous. You can say it and do it all you want to, but you just look stupid. It's the individuals that hurt you. Now you may add 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. They add up to a group of 5 and stuff like that, but that's still that one. That's that one little group. It's not the people as a whole. So that's all I gotta say on that. I'm Beautifully Animated. Also, Beautifully Animated Speaks. My IG is Beautifully Animated without the space, and you can catch me here on Tuesdays at Talk That Talk Tuesday.
All right, Sugarfoot. Have a good night, sweetheart.
See, that was good.
That was good, because girl, your sister here,
Girl is on fire.
DS.
You're driving a bus through that gap.
Bro, y'all play so rough over here. Man, y'all play rough. What's up? Yeah, wow. Okay, real quick.
You need a little pick me up.
I needed that. I'm ready now. But first of all, shout out to Sister Lady in the chat holding it down like she always does. Brother Black Man, her and I were in the back chat on one of these shows. We were talking about you starting a church. Man, I was laughing.
Who you talking to?
Man, listen, I told you to read the back chat that night. I forget. It was those. I was like, bro, you need to do it. I want to be deacon. I want to be deacon at Brother Black Man Church.
Hey, you crazy, bro.
So, but I've been laughing about that for so long, man. So shout out
on that.
Yeah, shout out to Sister Lady. That shit was hilarious. But yeah, what we're talking about tonight, we covered a lot of stuff, man. But I wanted to double back to the laws that are being passed to give your children legal standing, right? Because they're going after the young kids, right? These young kids just want attention. They want to fit in, right? Whatever it is they want. They're living 2 lives. It's happening in real time, y'all. It's happening. Right, guys, and again, shout out to Brother Black Man, because if it weren't for you, me following you and being a part of these conversations, I wouldn't have brought this up with my daughter. And she verified everything that what was that, sister? Security something?
Security boss, right?
Security boss on that platform.
Yeah.
And everything that was said on that platform was verified this morning by my daughter. I was talking to her. Things are changing, and they're doing it through our laws. So we need to be involved in the political process at the basic level, all the way up through Washington. This is why we need to get involved, people. This is your family. They are going to take your children if you sit back and do nothing. Your child could go to school and at home he's a boy, but at school he's a girl. And then the system, our laws, our country is going to back your child and take that child away from you. Y'all better wake up. Y'all, brother Black Man is doing some real good things. Y'all sitting there. It's like that Spike Lee movie. Start screaming, wake up out the window. And you know what I mean? And politics. I mean, again, this is 538.com. The race for the Senate, 46-46. It's dead heat. So much for the blue wave. Race for the House, 184-207. And like I said, they're counting up. California's reporting in. So the Democrats still have a slight chance to hold on to the House, possibly. And it looks like they may hold on to the Senate. This is really important. But more importantly is what's going on locally where you live. That's the most important thing when it comes to, we're talking about law enforcement going after black men and killing us because of these narratives, because of the stereotypes, right? Well, how do we fix that? You put in different prosecutors, you put in different judges, you mandate that law enforcement has to keep those cameras on. Not that they have the body camera. Y'all know law enforcement can turn them, the cops can turn those cameras off anytime they want. The law needs to state you cannot turn that camera off.
Or you'll be fired.
Or you will go to jail.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's even better.
Or you go to jail.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I mean? So this is what we have to do as individuals. We can't sit back and just be like, oh, woe is me, and oh, it's just terrible. What did we do? They devastated our homes, whatever. Brother Black Man proved it. Black men do marry black women. They do. We try, but we got to do something about the family law system because that is keeping people apart. Like I said, I just had that thought. We was talking about Sister Tamika. Hey, what do you think will happen if women who made over a certain amount of money weren't eligible for child support? Woo. Think about that while y'all sleeping tonight. Think about that. No child support. Would women actually become more feminine and get a man that she loves, honors, and respects and understand, like, I'm not going to get nothing out of this but the baby, and that's the man I want, so I might as well make this work? Would that happen? I don't know. You know what I mean? That's something for the old think tank, for those people who've been in my platform. Last thing I want to say, I don't know if y'all been watching what Cody is King has been putting in the chat when we were talking about what's going on with the school and our kids and what these children are allowed to do and what they're being backed. And he's in a different country. I hope y'all was reading what he was putting in there. That brother was dropping some serious facts, definitely some food for thought. When your child can go to school and your 14-year-old can decide what they want to do. And I agree. They don't know what socks they're going to wear in the morning. They don't know what cereal they want.
You're exactly right, bro. I had a teacher tell me that. I said, why didn't you call me? She said, because we don't do that anymore. These kids are old enough to make their own decisions.
See, this kid.
You know me, because I have different ways of saying motherfucker. So when I'll say motherfucker, like, oh, motherfucker, but I was like, motherfucker. That's the one that when I'm really pissed, like, did you really just tell me my daughter went through this situation? You didn't call me? You didn't reach out? Because my daughter can make ma'am, don't let that happen no more. I said, ma'am, you call me. Anything happens to my baby, you call me immediately.
Here's the thing, because of the laws, she might want to call you, but because of the laws, her hands are tied. That should scare you as a parent, as an American citizen. Think about that for a minute, y'all. Her hands are, if I tell him and it comes back, I might get sued. I might get arrested. Who knows? You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. And the very last thing I do want to say, again, the show you did, Brother Black Man, with the deaf community, the sisters, it blew my mind. I got to honestly say, very few things surprised me and shocked me in a good way. Man, I was sitting there and just so full of pride and joy. And I was so proud of you and for you doing that, bro. Mark my words. I'm sending that to everybody I know in Hollywood right now. I'm sending that out to the cool kids. I'm sending it, and they're all floored, just like I was. You watch what Hollywood do. And we ain't going to be able to prove it. But I'll be like, hey, Black Man Unfiltered Network had this before NBC, before Hulu, before Netflix. It was right here. You know what I mean? But this brother, do we need to call it the deadbeat Black Man Unfiltered Network to get them to look at it? I don't know what it takes.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what it takes, but bro, keep doing what you're doing. If there's anything I could do, anything at all, please don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate to ask me. I will. You shall have it. You know what I mean? So, and always thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. Always bring me up, let me talk my talk. I appreciate that. One of the best chats in the world. You know what I mean? And they're just making it happen. Like I say, y'all fool, go over here, man. You bring your helmet. Bring your shoulder pads.
Man. Well, listen, bro. you know, I just want let me let my preacher tell you.
Please forgive me.
All right, man. Much love to you, DL Saint, man. Thank you so much for supporting me, man. And I always try to find ways to have, you know, more innovative things. I think everybody deserves to have a voice, even if you don't have one, right? And so these ladies, man, they talk to each other. Listen, I know sign language because I have a niece that is deaf, right? But to watch these ladies on their Sunday just sit and have a conversation with the music playing in the background, it was soothing, bro. Like I shocked it was, for me, it was soothing. And then people in the chat were saying the same thing I was thinking. Like, man, this is soothing. I don't know what they saying, bro, but I'm just laid back in a vibe right now, watching these women conversate with each other using sign language.
Man, I wish we can get subtitles on there, bro. I wish we can get subtitles on there. I ain't gonna lie, just so we can read along and comment. But hey, keep doing what you're doing, bro. I learned this on that platform. I know what this means now. I looked it up.
Yeah, this. I'm gonna teach you something. Then you got daddy, you got mama, you got coke, you got what else? You got this right here's P. So this is pussy. This is dick. If you want to be foul.
Oh my God!
Hey, you just gotta learn.
Black people always get the bad words.
I was gonna say, leave it to the brothers. Leave it to the brothers.
I learned it because my niece, she crazy as I am, but she's deaf, and so she'll be on the show on Sunday. Because I told them they text me and said they really want to come back on Sunday. So I say no problem. I'll bring them back on Sunday, and my niece will be a part of that Sunday. So
I'm gonna send it to everybody I know in Hollywood, man, for real, because I want people to see that, and hopefully somebody want to reach out to you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's what I'm trying to do, man. No promises, but they gonna see.
Tell Shannon Rawls if anyone can contact him. You know.
All right, appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna holler at y'all.
Thanks, DL. Bye.
Peace. All right, my brother. Give it up for DL Saint, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. You know who in the building tonight. Give it up for yours truly. The Duster is in the building tonight. I can't even look at you after what we did to you people last week.
Not scam likely. Hello.
Welcome to the Duster Sphere.
All right, Dusto.
You had Auntie J on there too. I can't.
First of all, assalamu alaikum to all my wigsters out there in the chat. Wiggle salam, exactly. Nation Wiggle, going strong. Duster Sphere going strong. Still working on a show for Thursday. I'm actually hiring. I'm not paying anything, but
dude, I got somebody for. I'll tell you when the show. I got somebody for you though.
Okay, because I'm still recruiting. Need more.
You're not paying anything. I can't.
We're looking for anybody with any kind of acting, improv talent, or volunteers to be victims of some of the abuse from the trolling that'll be happening in the Duster Sphere. Some good sports. But anyway, regarding the topic, the black parts of it. Do black men hate black women and black women hate black men? Some of them actually do, but it's deeper than that. Some of it's simple surface, and they're just expressing the way they feel because they're emotional people. And just listen to them, talk to them. But what you can do is show them what really is. A lot of people don't know what really is. They believe what really is between them big ears of theirs, and that's just not what it is.
Right.
As far as stereotypes, make sure you don't fall in that stereotype category first. Take care of yourself. Be that better person. Get yourself together. Then educate those people on the stereotypes that, no, that's not what it is. It's just not. Other thing is, don't let the media and people get into your brain and just pump something into you with playing with your emotions. Hey, my brother, come here. Did you know what happened 6 weeks ago all the way out in Antarctica? One person stole a man's parking space, but he really did it because of this. Boy, you need to read this book right here. It's going to tell you the whole story. And that's why you need to vote for Jose Sanchez. Don't go for that. It's a whole world. Read a fair evaluation. Don't let people play with your emotions, say and stuff dust into your veins. I see it and I hear it all the time. You need to read this book, Oz Weeze's Victims. that came out in 14. Come on, man. No.
So Dust, everybody want to know, inquiring minds want to know, when they go see Dr. L. Macaroni.
Macaroni will be back.
L. Macaroni.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite show. Like, for real.
Oh my God. Wait a minute, Coach K, did you see it? Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. That had me dying. Like,
That
there's
was
so
my
much
favorite
going
show.
on, and I was like, I don't know how you come up with this stuff.
That boy said, I'm Dr. L. Macaroni, here to help you put the cheese.
I can't with you guys.
I can't even finish it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all come and support us, though. Support
And then the
Dusto
coat with a headband.
in the
Like, are these mics
Dustosphere
on?
Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, guys. Don't miss it. Last week, it was Pastor Collection Plate was there. And what was the other pastor's name?
Reverend
Pandering.
Sweet Toes and
Reverend Sweet Toes.
Deacon Sugar Meat Sam.
Oh, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the
Yeah,
Dust.
still working on the Dust for Thursday. Still working on it.
I'm laughing so hard, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
people.
That's so crazy.
He does.
All right, Dust. Oh, Lord help us. Tommy B, I'm sorry, man. Oh. What I do? Hey, did you see Dr. Macaroni, bro?
Hell yeah, dog. I told y'all was acting a fool on here.
Man.
That one in the one last week, dog, took me.
Man.
That shit.
Hey,
took me.
baby girl. What's up? I know one thing, Tommy. They can't tell you don't make no pretty babies, boy. I guarantee you that.
3, you feel me? Hold on, girl. She want her macaroni cup.
That boy sperm got gold flakes in it.
Oh.
Aww.
You heard me, Tommy?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I'm 3 for 3 around here. You feel me?
You know what I'm talking about? Baby girl, what's her name?
Samaya.
Samaya. What's up,
Yeah.
girl? Hey, Samaya.
She ain't worried about nothing but this macaroni cup. No, I just think I'm gonna show you an example of what I was talking about. This is what I walked into the other day. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was watching TV. And that's what and I show that because it's a lot of these parents out here that will come in there and you messed up my couch and and that's what I mean about, they're free until we give them these rules and stuff that we have.
Right.
Don't run on my couch.
But that's fun right there. What he doing right now?
Yeah,
That's fun.
exactly.
That's fun.
But I'm just
I don't see
saying,
what
you got parents out there that would like go crazy because they done messed up man. Look, every time you come in my house, the first thing you do, all the pillows coming off the couch. First thing you do. So I say that just because I'm not ignorant of what you guys were talking about at all. I just know as far as the media, you got to watch some of the stuff they put out there because I think a lot of time they hype it up more than what it is. And
Like
that's why
fear-mongering.
exactly. And that's why I used, I'm in California. I'm ground zero to this shit. We've literally been dealing with this shit since I was a kid. And that's why I say that I'm not saying it's a problem, but if I'm hollering at my daughter and she ain't talking about weirdos coming in the bathroom, because you notice it's only more with the girls, Black man. You don't really hear about boys up there. You feel me? Like and so even with that, like when I was in the military, that was a thing. Like we literally basically said, like, chicks is gonna go through their little phase and then they'll get back to the men. Like that's so it's one of those things that's just kind of been building up. Like I said, I'm not oblivious to what they're talking about because I totally agree with DL as far as like these laws and stuff that they pass and this stuff.
Right.
But as far as like I said with the sex change and stuff, it's hard for me to see that just becoming everyday life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's just always going to be an extreme. But I think in general, with the father situation, I tell people all the time, even when you guys say it, I don't look at myself as a good dad. I just look at myself as a dad.
Right.
You know, I just feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't feel like I'm doing nothing special. I feel like I had them and I'm taking care of them, and that's just what it is. It's the same thing like when people, you know, thank me for my service. I'm like, I went and did what I was supposed to do.
Right.
You know, I just it's so. But I fortunately came from a lineage of men that took care of their kids. So, you know, that was already every Father's Day. I let it be known that I didn't have to break no generational curse. We take care of us around here. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's been my life. Now, I'm not saying to say that I haven't seen, um, you know, what we talk about now, and I have noticed that, you know, I'm starting to become like the minority, unfortunately. You know, the 2-parent households and stuff. But there are still families out there where, you know, the men are taking care of their kids and stuff. And to be honest with you, most of the people I come in contact with, that's what they do is take care of their kids, if not fighting to get to their kids to take care of them and stuff.
Right.
But I also wanted to say this too. I wanted to respond to DL's comment as far as with the child support and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how much that would change, only because a lot of them are leaving for goofy shit. And I had this conversation with a couple of people on the panel the other day. So they got the BMF documentary out on Stars now.
Yeah, yeah.
They lied on the TV show. Them boys didn't start selling dope until after Pops got divorced.
Yeah.
See, on the movie, they made it seem like it happened simultaneously. He was still there and stuff. No.
Right.
He was divorced. And because they was in a house where they saw mom struggling, they felt like they had to do something to help her out.
Because he didn't have no
Pops
money.
didn't live there no more.
Right.
That wasn't a child support situation. She made that decision. And I say that to say this because it's a mindset with these women of I can do bad by myself.
Right.
Which is a weird mindset to have because you literally do worse by yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So just that moniker is, I think, is the driving force for a lot of these decisions. Is you hit a tough spot and is I can do bad by myself, and then you go by yourself and you do worse than what the hell you was doing in the relationship. You know, and most of the time, I've seen women leave relationships, and then this including my mama. I got aunties and yada yada yada. They ain't upgraded; they downgraded every single time, most of the time. You know, so. I was gonna say I think that's you know, more of the issue than necessarily child support because I think if it was child support they'd be making logical decisions, and usually when they make those decisions it's emotional, it's not logical. So that's why I think that the child support, if they took it away, I think it would stop some women, but I don't think women leave going, "Ooh, I'm gonna get this bag." Like, nah. And to be honest with you, for most people, it ain't that big of a bag anyway. We see the crazy bags on TV, but it's only a couple $100 for most.
Yeah.
But that's my little rant. I appreciate you letting me up.
Oh yeah, ain't no problem, man. Hey, man, where's she at? She still over there? Where's she at?
Oh, she right here. Yeah.
What's up, girl?
She
Let
waiting
me
on
take
that
this damn
macaroni.
banner down. Hold on. Oh, what's up, girl? Oh, she's so quiet.
Oh, she's having her thumb. I used to do that.
Oh, her sister too. I got pictures of them side by side. They
Yeah, my daughter sucks her thumb too, man. How we gonna get them to stop, bro?
Nah, Pete. So we go to the skating rink this weekend, and they had these pacifiers that lit up. And my oldest goes, "Oh, I want one." I said, "Oh, now you want one?" Because she sucked pacifier one time and spit it out and went straight to the thumb, and they never went back.
Wow.
But yeah, you know, it's always a good time we come over. You know my day one. You feel me?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Hey, man, send me your availability, bro, because I'll send you the links, but I don't know when you be available.
No, right now, listen. Right now, anytime. I'm good anytime for the most part. Hey, like I told you, Friday.
Yeah.
I got business to handle. And part of Monday too, because some of it's, if you look at that list, some of it squeezed over into Monday. But yeah, Friday, I'm licking fingers all day. We started at Krispy Kreme. We going to Wendy's for the breakfast. IHOP, Denny's. I'm hitting everything.
Damn, and it's free, just free.
Free.
Damn.
Now, my only complaint about it though is they come up with these special menus, and I'm like, just give me a damn meal. Like, what the hell? They these weirdo menus and stuff. But yeah. But no, just anytime, just tap in with me right now. My availability is just open, so just let me know.
Okay, I'll send it to you. All right,
for sure.
I appreciate
y'all have a good night,
ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, Coach K. Did you get a chance to see the Deaf Show with the ladies?
No, but I just pulled it up on my phone because I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. It was, man, I didn't know it was gonna have that kind of effect on people. I thought people was gonna think I was crazy because I had that idea. But when
No,
it
I
started,
think that is a great idea.
man, they were just having a full conversation, and their facial expressions and the turn of their hands and the music was playing. It was amazing. It was amazing. Man, and they'll come back this Sunday too as well. So, what are your thoughts on the show?
That's so awesome. Oh, I just can't get over that too. I can't wait to watch it. Thoughts on the show? Man, we always have the deep conversations here. They're just multifaceted. But I would say, I mean, stereotypes are a bitch, that's for sure. And judgments and things like that. But I would say just everyone to just take a step back and to just check, where are yours about just groups of people. And I'll share that I was a server when I was in college, and there's that stereotype that Black people don't tip, whatever. But what always struck me was that then servers would go expecting that table to not tip. But then if you give trash service, why would people tip? So it's like, I just don't find it serves anyone to treat other people with like just an assumption. Like, but I will say there's so many good dads out there. I know my own father. I know so many indirect connections to me, but also there's so many good mothers out there too. Queen Smiley, she surprises me. I cannot get over all the crap that she does. Like, I want to see her schedule because I know I don't have kids, but I could be doing so much more. Right. And you too, Dwayne, you too. Oh, Black Man, you too. Like, you do so much, and it's like, and of course, you hear this on the internet all the time. We should be highlighting this more, talking about it more. That's for sure. And it's like, that's a reminder for all of us too, that while it's so easy to look at all the bad things that went wrong with your day and all the bad people, whatever, remind yourself, direct your attention towards the good things that happened that day or whatever, all the good people that you do have, because your brain's not going to go there on its own, but you can definitely do it. So yeah,
Coach
this was a powerful show.
Now read this. That would be something. If you popped up one day and did a shit, oh my God, I would pass out. No. Dude, that shit would be funny.
I'm not saying no to anything. I am definitely goofy and I can do, but you guys are taking, flack for it if people get offended and shit. Like,
I don't care. I don't care if they get offended. Bring that shit. I want to see it.
Okay, I'm for it. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'll tell you on the back. But yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it. But yeah, yeah, let's do it. But yeah, this was a good show, though.
Man, this was a good show today. Thank you guys for watching tonight. It's been another amazing show. Another great conversation with everybody. Thank all the panelists that came through. To my beautiful co-host here. Shout out to her and her fiance.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Black Man. Seriously, for everything that you do and allowing us all to have a space. Shout out to you.
Absolutely. And Thursday, listen, guys, Wednesday, Thursday, make sure, because at the end, I did another outro for you guys. So the outro will tell you all the days and times, but make sure you come and support Coach K and Big Al, because they're talking about your nutrition, what to eat. They're trying to fix your mind and your gut. So they need you to come and support them every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, come over here and listen to what they have to say. You're gonna laugh your ass off at 6 o'clock because that's the Dustosphere. So you're gonna need that 45. You're gonna need that follow up. So at 6:45, come on in and support the ladies. They'll be trying to teach you something real good that's gonna help you health wise and all that good stuff. All right. So guys. Another show in the books. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the sports show, 1-in-1 Sports Show at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on tomorrow. All right, Coach K, thank you again for another great show.
Thank you guys.
See y'all later. Peace.
Peace.